You are listening to A Chatter of Fact. Again, these are not interviews, they're conversations, and I can't wait to get involved with this one right now. I can't wait to get into all of that is you. Jasmine Ejan? Did I say right?
That's right.
So, and what? How have people been saying your name? You said, have people been saying Ejan for 5 years, or have you been saying Ejan for 5 years?
Well, I've had managers who wanted to be my manager say, hey, you should say Jasmine Ejan. And then because I lived in Europe for 5 months and I knew all these French people, they would say, oh, Jasmine Ejan. And then it just kind of grew on me.
Oh, so do you even say Jasmine? Is that how you're like, oh,
depends.
my name is Jasmine?
If I'm with like Cirque du Soleil people and they're mostly French people,
yeah, I'll
say, bonjour, je m'appelle Jasmine Ejan.
What does all that mean?
Comment vas-tu?
Oh, see, isn't that great? She speaks in tongues.
No, I only know a bit.
Because I think early on I was Robby, like the Hispanic crowd would say Robby Celestin, Celestin. But then as I've gotten older, as I got older, like by third grade, it was Celestin. So now Robby Celestin. And then people seem to think that rolls off better. So it's like the people control after a while. I'm like, yeah, it's Celestin.
Yeah, it's kind of morphed into that. I mean, growing up it was Jasmine Ejan, but then it kind of just drops in the sound.
I like Ejan though.
Yeah, it gives it kind of like vibration.
Yeah, man. So the very vibrating last name girl named Jasmine Ejan is here, and you guys have no idea. Anybody listening, you have no idea what you're in for because she's a professional dancer.
Yeah.
She's met people. Like, I want to hear about the celebrities you've run into, and she was like being a backup dancer for like Celine Dion to like selling product that you created that people put on their naughty parts. Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
In a year's time.
Are you serious?
I'm a hustler.
Man. So you're like, there's a lot to talk about. But like right now, we're home for you. Like, where do you, not where you're residing this minute, because we're in Chicago right now and it's freaking cold.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
you
20
guys are no
something.
Joke.
I'm sorry about that.
I'm wearing a jacket, 2 coats,
you
leg
are.
warmers, 3 layers.
And a thong from, where?
From Miss Saigon.
From Miss Saigon.
When I did, worked at Paramount Theater in Aurora.
What? So that's where you did Miss Saigon?
Yeah.
In Aurora, here?
Yep, Aurora, Illinois. That was my first job here last year.
What time of year was it?
Oh gosh, October, November.
That seems wrong, right? Like, shouldn't they be giving you like a shawl instead of like a?
No,
we're
that's
give you the
sexy
skimpiest.
show. I was a prostitute.
Oh, right. Everybody's like a prostitute in that.
Yeah,
but I mean,
wore
it's
like
cold.
bedazzled bikinis.
It just seems like parting gift in like the Chicago area would have been more like a scarf.
Oh no, not for Miss Saigon.
But you're right.
A bunch of whores wearing.
When you were talking about them giving out underwear right before we started the mics, I was dumb enough to like, oh, they let you keep it? Because I guess who would want like this was worn by? Yeah,
they do that for tights though. Some companies will recycle tights.
That's not as.
But I think
does anybody go commando in tights?
You know, some ballerinas do.
Do they really?
Yeah, like I did. But
so
this is not a ballet company. This is theater, and there are theater union rules. So I think anything that touches your skin, you're not really supposed to.
Okay, so ballet companies won't reuse the tights, but like theater companies will recycle tights? Probably. Because if not, then if somebody went commando, then you're wearing that. I mean, it's just rubbing on people's gear. That seems, I don't know.
I know another theater company. They had a bin full of socks, and all the boys would just grab recycled socks. Really? I don't know. I never grabbed any of those socks.
Oh, by the way, she was also just on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That was like the only prep, because I don't prep for anything. Like I've been hearing that, oh yeah, she makes this product that you put on your happy bits, and then she's like a body double in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So the only thing I did was I actually watched your episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and I saw your feet and your legs, maybe your legs or your calves.
Yeah, my lovely ankles.
I didn't know, because there's a big old fight scene in that, so I didn't know if you were.
Oh no, I'm not a fight double, just the dance double.
But
I lucked out. I got that job just going to ballet class, and my friend was teaching, and we hadn't seen each other in like a year or so. And then later on in the evening, after I was interviewing this comic, that's another story. Anyway, I get a text, and he's like, "What's your shoe size? Are you free on Thursday?" I'm like, yes, 7, blah, blah, blah. And he says, "All right, you're booked. You got a gig." And I'm like, "What is this gig?" So next thing you know, I'm parking in this winery that has to shuttle me to this amazing, crazy mansion of a place. It's a marble mansion that's overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
Oh, my God.
It was incredible. I walked in, all the extras were looking at me. I felt like a star. And they put me in a holding room, and then when they needed me, they had me do this 5-minute, easy breezy ballroom dance thing. Anyway, at lunch, at catering, which was amazing as well, I asked my dance partner, so how much are we getting paid for this? Because I figured it would be like, $150 or something.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think like 900, 800. I dropped my spoon and my food. I was like, no way. So,
Good paying gig.
5 minutes, $900.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, and the day before I had to try on shoes for her.
Yeah.
I got paid $100 for trying on shoes.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
ABC Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., what's up? What? Work for them, everybody.
I'm not allowed to tweet it or anything.
Yeah.
But it didn't, I don't remember the contract. Well, I said it on the podcast.
You weren't allowed to tweet it?
Yeah, they said you're not allowed to tweet or Facebook or any social media.
Oh, that you're doing it?
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Maybe they don't want the world to know that those aren't her feet.
No, come on.
But those are everybody. Everybody has doubles and everything. Yeah. And I think it's good exposure either way.
Yeah, well, yeah, for your feet. But anything is everything. I mean, look at it this way. Yeah. I found out that you were a body double. I watched the show. So
yeah,
they got one view, but they got one view just because of that.
Exactly.
So world, not what, I can't remember what episode. Do you remember like a number?
I think it was season 4.
It's new.
Yeah.
It was just like 2 shows ago or something.
The number 4 is just popping up.
Go find her. Well, you know what?
It's on Hulu.com.
Yeah, that's where I watched it.
Yeah,
I watched it on Hulu. I watched your feet.
Yeah, thanks for watching my feet.
They looked good. They looked smooth. They were like, oh, check us out. We're her feet.
We shot that for 5 minutes.
That is it.
That was it. And like everybody was watching. It was awesome. We were totally working it on the top. Like my head was whipping. You can't see that part though, but I was throwing my hair. My partner was awesome.
And yeah, so do you primarily live like where, in LA, or where do you live?
I'm a gypsy girl for the moment.
That is awesome.
So I go where the work goes.
So is there not like you live wherever the show is?
Yeah.
That is awesome. That's pretty badass.
Yeah, well, but it's kind of exhausting because then you have to live out of your suitcase. And then I'm like, God, I wish I had my other hats, but I can't take all my hats with me when I'm traveling around.
But is there like a true residence somewhere?
My parents live in Oxnard, so...
Where's Oxnard?
It's an hour north of LA.
Oh, okay. Is that where you grew up?
Ventura County. Yes, that's where I grew up. Land of strawberries. That's where all the amazing strawberries are from.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
But basically, it's coastal, so maybe half hour north of Malibu. So I grew up 8 minutes from the ocean.
Oh,
it's a working class town, a lot of farms. But yeah, right next to Ventura County.
You grew up in like a working class town where what?
Yeah. And my dad was,
everywhere?
I used to volunteer at the Strawberry Festival, so I've helped the handicap. I was a parking official once. I passed out spoons.
What did your dad do?
Oh, my dad was in the Coast Guard, so
really?
the Port Hueneme base is there.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So that's why we were there, and my dad was also stationed in Long Beach, but my mom didn't want us to be moving around, so my mom said, we're going to stay in Oxnard.
Oh, nice. So hold on. What happened then? Because seriously, rattle off famous people you've like backup danced for. I mean, are there a handful of them? I know Celine Dion's one of them.
Yeah, Celine Dion. She's amazing. I'm grateful to have done that.
Yeah, I also heard you were on like an American Music Awards or some.
Oh yeah, I did the AMAs a couple years ago with Train.
Yeah,
we did.
Really?
Hey, soul sister.
You were up there with Train?
Yeah, we were clapping our hands.
How many dancers were up there?
There was a lot. They probably got like 30 of us, and we were just freestyling.
That is fun time. You're up there. I bet you I can YouTube that. I got to find that then.
Yeah, probably. I have not YouTubed it. I've seen a clip, but you barely see me. You see me like walk down and smile and clap my hands. It's.
Oh my God! So you've been busy.
Yeah.
And life is good.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You're like so. I'm lucky enough to have. If for anybody listening, I'm lucky enough to have this beautiful girl in the podcast room just because.
You're beautiful.
Oh, thanks, man. You're such a liar. Lies.
No.
Oh, well, not only is she like a wonderful spirit, because you're awesome. Like the first 5 minutes, I already told you before.
I got here early. Book. I felt so bad.
So lesson learned. I've learned my lesson now forever and ever, because what I've been doing, and I think I've talked about it on other podcasts, especially when we had the fashion designer Sarah Rose. I'm like, minutes before you got in here, I walked out of the shower and I'm like, what do you wear for a fashion designer? Like, nothing in my closet can look good to you, But anyway, I pushed the envelope, I think. The last thing I do is take a shower because I work with, you guys get to sit in my living room and do this, And performers, people in the arts, nobody's on time. Nobody is on time. Everybody's like a little bit late. So you were like a half hour early.
I was worried I'd get lost because I'm not this is not my town. And
just so for people listening, she's not visiting. She's on a gig. She came here to Chicago because she's in The King and I at the Marriott Theater in Lincolnshire, and that's pretty badass because it's just you have some Broadway-esque folks in that.
Yeah.
It's great. But anyway, you're not from the area. You took your car here.
I took the bus and the train, and I'm not very good.
Did you walk?
No.
From the train station?
No. I took the bus from the train.
Bus from the train.
But I wasn't sure, what if the things break down? I've gotten lost in the Bronx before taking 5 buses, and I was a half hour late to a gig.
Oh, gotcha.
So and then also my dad was in the military, and we were always on time, if not early, so we'd always be the first family at a family party. I'm like, see, Dad, look, this is everyone's brown time. Here we are early. So it's from that.
But it's good.
Yeah.
You're the best employee in the whole wide world. Because everything we do is so time sensitive. If I'm on, I haven't done a lot of TV appearances, but I've done enough to see how freaked out people can get when that one person is late. Oh my God!
Yeah, in the Celine Dion show, actually, some people were fired because they were constantly late.
Yeah. Oh my
3
God.
strikes, you're out. If you're late to a fitting, late to a class, whatever meeting, whatnot, you can't.
Yeah.
Because it's such a gift to do what we do.
Seriously.
So that's why I'm very blessed to be here and chat with you and share my life, because this is a blessing. So I'm like, I can't be late.
You were incredibly
early.
She was really early. So I
felt so bad.
No. I'm glad. Man. No, you no reason to feel bad, but lesson learned for me, because I had one foot going into the shower, and I think I had my phone on vibrate, so I didn't even have a ringer on, which I shouldn't do when somebody's on their way to a podcast. But anyway, I'm about to get in the shower, and then all of a sudden I just look over, and I don't know why, I just happened to look at my phone and it lit up. I'm like, oh, okay. So, Naked Robby went to the phone and looked, hey, good morning, I'm here. Like, wait, what? No, what? And then that's why I called you right away. Like, wait, is she, you mean here? Like you're here? And then it became like an action movie. It was like a naked Indiana Jones movie, because I'm like, well, I didn't grab a robe or anything. So I just had time to get my naked butt to my buzzer. Like, hey, so you're here. Yeah, come on up. I'm going to jump in the shower. And then it was like it's in every movie where there's the trap door's coming, he's got to get under the trap door. I had to get Naked Robby out of my living room before the guests came in, and then you walked in right before. I probably just turned the corner.
Yeah, I took my time. I figured.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Did you have an idea?
Maybe
he sounds
cool.
He sounds panicky.
I also almost went into the other door.
Wrong apartment. Oh,
yes.
Really? The wrong condo?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's like me getting into the wrong Uber.
It timed out. It timed out just right. I'll bet
good.
you, right when I turned the corner, you came in and it was like dun 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 dun. I made it. And then
it's cool. Like I said, I will amuse myself. I have so many things that I have to catch up on, and all my snacks. So
I've never seen anything quite like what you've brought to the table here, because you
what?
Well, yeah. Well, for one thing, you called.
Doesn't everybody have this stuff?
You called to say, oh, I don't drink coffee, and you like Bailey's in your coffee, which I do like Bailey's. I'm I don't drink.
Boring life.
Yeah, you. I don't drink. I don't have coffee. I don't. But you brought everything. You're your own host. You brought nuts and what is it? What kind of almonds from the Fresh and Easy?
Yeah, Fresh and Easy is my favorite grocery.
So that's a place in Cali then?
Mm-hmm. They have a lot of really amazing packaged stuff and ready-made lunches. But they don't have Mariano's. Mariano's is awesome.
You like that place?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it kind of rocks. If you go to have you gone to the one with there's a piano player?
Yeah.
It's nuts. And
it was really cool. I was listening and I was like, wow, this music sounds amazing. And then I looked, oh my God, it's live. A grocery with a live accompaniment. That's pretty awesome.
I love it. It's a good spot. And then I can eat everything.
Yeah,
there.
me
It's
too.
Good food there too. So
it's reasonably priced.
Yeah, it's not bad. Everybody's addicted to that place now that it's come. It's almost like, oh, the Queen's here.
Yeah, I've said, hey, let's all meet at Mariano's.
Really, it's a big deal. I don't even know. I guess that's just a Midwest store. I've never really heard of it till I moved to Chicago. I don't even know how long they've been around.
Yeah, I don't know anywhere.
But every time now, I don't know what
exists.
happened. A few stores have closed, whatever regular grocery stores that we've usually known, and they're gone. And now every time they drop, it's just like, the aliens have landed. Everyone's so excited. Like, we have to go. Everyone is going insane. Every time one comes near their, it's like, all right, okay, there's one like a mile that way, but then, now there's one half mile away. Like, okay, all right, calm down. Like,
we can get our Marianos on.
Yeah, it's great. But so anyway, that's become like crack for people, I suppose. That's Midwestern drugs is Marianos. And you said Marianos.
Yeah, Marianos.
Everybody else around here, I just say, hey, I'm going to Marianos. That's what they all say. So
it's funny, like how a lot of people pronounce things here.
Here in Chicago?
I look at Paulina Street, and someone's called it Paulina.
Yeah.
Like, really?
Yeah.
Paulina?
Well, what are you? So you're giving it kind of like a Latin flair then.
Yeah, because Oxnard's pretty much 90% Latino, mostly Mexican.
So do you speak Spanish?
Poquito.
Okay.
But don't ask me.
No.
I'll talk in present tense.
No, because I'm Mexican and people ask me all the time, do you speak Spanish? And that's like my go-to, poquito. So then it makes it sound like, he kind of knows because he said poquito.
Because.
But, like that means he sort of knows. But, and then I'm able to stray away. Every once in a while, ¿cómo estás? Oh, bien, ¿y tú? And then they move on further, and I'm like, hey, let's
you start talking English.
Have you been to Mariano's? And I like change the subject real quick. But anyway, so now that we've like just laid the groundwork of how interesting you are, we haven't even gotten into how interesting you are, but we've gotten into how interesting you are. See, that's what I like about this. We set you up.
All right.
I want to know. So wait, you're like growing up and there's strawberries everywhere, but your dad's like working for the Strawberry Coast Guard. Wait, there's like a Coast Guard in the middle of like we need protection. But we need them around strawberries. No one will ever suspect that the Coast Guard is like why I wonder why there's a Coast Guard like there. That's where he was stationed.
There's a Navy base
in the midst of the strawberry farms.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, there's a bunch of farms, like there's flowers and things like that. But I never volunteered or worked for flowers. So strawberries,
kind of
like you would like driving through.
I love strawberries
my hometown,
too,
you would
man.
smell the strawberries.
So
and
do you still love them, or are you like?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Actually, my favorite snack is chocolate covered strawberries. So for anyone who wants to woo me, make some.
Do that and make some chocolate. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Good to know. Well, those are easy to come by too.
Love it.
Oh, wow. See, now people are going to like find you and every play that you're in. So I heard you. Hi. They don't have to say anything. They could just hand you chocolate-covered strawberries.
This is love.
And they could just be, and if they're wearing like a Coast Guard uniform, they go, oh my gosh, this feels like home. Daddy,
Mom.
take me.
No,
like, sure,
no.
no problem. Come on over. Yeah, all right. Well,
actually, that's one of the perks of opening night parties.
What? Chocolate-covered
strawberries. Oh, yeah. I've made myself sick before.
Are they everywhere?
I think I ate 22 strawberries once.
And you're a professional dancer, but that's your... But you know what?
No, I just eat.
But people like you, though, I mean, your body is your job. So your metabolism is like running so high that you can indulge in that, Like you've earned that right.
Well, but I listen to my body, so... Like I know what I have to eat in the morning before class and training and all that jazz.
Yeah.
And then like if I'm say I'm doing a crazy dance show and the next day I need a steak, I will eat a steak.
Oh, that is awesome.
Usually my go-to would be a peanut butter sandwich. Usually Skippy. Yeah, I'm a product of Skippy.
Oh, really?
And then it would help me last through ballet 11:30 to 1, and then after that I'll have 4 hard-boiled eggs or I don't really
You're
cook.
like a Rocky.
Yeah, I don't really cook, so then that's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
And then yeah.
So protein.
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 Do.
And you're from California, you're a dancer. You're really like people she's beautiful, like looking at you, but you're very earthy. You like have like a little hippie vibe to you, your aura. I'm telling you. I don't know if anyone's ever said that before.
No.
But you've got this
really.
kind of, everything's cool, man. We're all right. Everything's gonna be all right.
I think it's a California thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it because it's kind of, you have a laid back vibe to you. But like everything about you would normally scream vegetarian, but then you'll have a steak.
No, I'm Filipino.
Yeah.
There aren't many.
Of course. Okay.
How many Filipino vegetarians?
You know what? Never. I know
really?
none.
Exactly, because we got good food.
Yeah. You guys throw down.
I feel like people. I mean, this is so wrong, but people maybe who are vegetarian, those are the ones who didn't grow up with really good food.
With good food,
right? Maybe.
You know what? That's a good point.
Right.
Because anymore, I've been hearing all these different talks about how like it's not even naturally right. I mean, I know there's some reasons like, oh, but they're mean to the chickens. It's like, yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like why people make the choices. I haven't watched any of these because, man, people tell me like, oh, I saw this documentary. I will never eat meat again. Like, wow, really? Okay. But at the same time, I keep hearing like life eats life, life needs life, and there's got to be a food chain of some sort. And you know,
nothing against vegetarians or vegans. It's
yeah,
just,
me neither. You know,
my parents were from third world, and we basically eat everything.
I love meat.
Yeah.
I love a good steak. And you know, I don't eat meat often, like red meat. I guess I don't eat it that often. I think I eat more fish and chicken.
Yeah, I love those too.
But I cannot go like a week or 2 days. Like, oh, I just laid off. Like, you know, I need some good, well prepared, you know, meat all the time.
Yeah, especially being an athlete dancer. You know, I need to get my protein.
You need your protein.
So I will.
So it's not
I
going to
had
be like,
fried chicken last night.
Leftover. Really?
Yeah, leftover from catering.
And what do you weigh, like 30 pounds?
Oh yeah. No.
Oh, yeah.
I'm muscle. No.
Well, yeah, of course.
I probably weigh 115ish right now.
But I mean, well, you look teeny tiny, so.
It's because I know how to dress teeny tiny.
I'm wearing my teeny tiny clothes.
I'm wearing my huge coat.
Yeah, I thought that this was your only coat. Okay. So you're in Strawberry Land while your dad's protecting America.
And my mom's a nurse.
And your mom's see that? Your dad's protecting America and your mom's healing them. Mm-hmm. And then what do you do? And then you're giving out spoons.
To the hand, everyone, yeah. No, and then I also did help the handicap cross the street.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I'm sure you're
moment.
a superhero. Probably a little old lady at some point. I'm sure you're a superhero. No, you're fine. You don't have to compare to your parents. It's turning into therapy now.
Oh gosh.
But what makes you say like, okay, I want to dance, Daddy? Like what happened?
Well, at age 7, I saw some ballet commercial, and I thought, oh my God, that's what I want to do. I want to do ballet. So I would dance around the house, you know, throwing my arms up, imitating the commercials, and I begged. It felt like forever. I begged every day to my parents, I want ballet classes. So then I think after a month, it felt like months, they enrolled me in a Dolly Dinkle, you know, those classes at the mall where you take ballet and tap. You're in those sequin costumes. It's cheesy.
Yeah.
So I did that.
And you're 7.
Yeah. Wow. And then my mom takes me to the Nutcracker, because I think maybe she was, and she didn't tell me, looking for a good ballet school. And I said, I want to do that, like what they did on stage. So, and then I enrolled in that school. And then from that point on, since age 7 and up, I've been in professional ballet company productions with live orchestra. And I didn't know until years later that I was very fortunate to have like huge stage, the real sets and costumes, and live orchestra. Ever since age 7.
But why, you just enrolled in the right school, or were you a prodigy or something? Like what?
No, my mom found the right school in my hometown, and then at age 13, I got into pre-professional training. So our school was taken away, and Clarissa Boriu took over, and she's Vaganova trained. From Romania. So in those times, they had a select group, maybe 20 kids, where they look at the body part, they test their musicality, and they give full scholarships to the students to train them in the Russian Vaganova way. So anyway, that's how she was brought up. And like her students are in the Bolshoi Ballet. That's how amazing her students are. So she took over our school, and I started with her at age 13. And from that point on, 6 days a week, my life was devoted to ballet. I had to quit piano lessons. I wanted to do some things in high school, like drill team, but then it conflicted with Saturday morning Nutcracker ballet or rehearsals. And I remember talking to my teacher, asking, "Well, I also want to do this," and she says, "You have to choose. You can't miss rehearsal, or you do that." And then went home, and I thought, well, I want to do ballet, so I had to, sacrifice a lot of high school normal kid things.
Really?
Which is fine, because I'm like, shoot, I'm doing what I love. I didn't really care.
Yeah.
So, and I did do a lot of high school things. Like I was president of my class of every year, and I, created all the events.
So you were in there. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I couldn't do like parade stuff, all the, I don't want to say frou-frou, but these social things that
a lot of the normal rah-rah that comes with high school.
Yeah, like I never partied in high school.
Yeah, I was pretty boring. Well,
I know, a boring life. I was in ballet class and rehearsals.
I didn't drink until I was actually 21. So I was at a few of the high school parties, but I wasn't like even through college. How about that?
Not and even that freshman year.
And like I'm a musician. And I'm a musician. On top of that,
well, I beat you.
Is that crazy? Yeah. See, so you weren't so. You know, I don't know. Something, it never
Right.
called out to me. Nothing, you know.
Well, I mean,
It's strange, right?
Well, at age 15, I got a scholarship to study dance at Columbus, Ohio's Ballet Met Dance Academy. So that was my first summer away. So I dormed with my friend from Ventura, but we were in the Ohio State dorm, but the girls we were hanging out with were these crazy girls from Florida. So, I mean, I went to class, every class, 8 in the morning, whatever. It was an 8-hour day. And we learned, you know, ballet class, 8 hours. And then after that, we did go out. And so I did do some partying, but I didn't drink a thing. And I didn't kiss all the boys because I was like, what about the diseases? I know I'm such a boring.
At 15, you were thinking this?
Don't tell my mom and dad.
No, that's awesome. Good for you. But
so
that's
I was
like
already
the perfect
out
daughter.
And about,
yeah.
And like,
I didn't kiss the boys because I thought, oh, what about the diseases?
That's what I was thinking.
Wow. A lot of cold sores in Ohio, I tell
know,
you.
Right?
No, I don't
know. I just went out to go dancing. And that was the first summer where we'd come home in the wee hours. And I remember seeing fireflies because we don't have those in Oxnard.
No?
And then we'd come home. Gosh, we were so bad because we would escaping down. Because we had a floor chaperone and then a building chaperone staying downstairs to make sure we were all okay. Because a bunch of kids were staying
How would
there.
you get out then?
Well, we escaped through the back door and then we propped it MacGyver style, like with leaves and things, so we could escape through the back door with nobody seeing us. And then one time when we were out and about, we saw the floor chaperone, and she wasn't supposed to be out. So we were like, we didn't see each other. So she couldn't want to be told on. She couldn't tell on us, because, like, why is she out?
Yeah.
So anyway, me and my friend, we actually were moved up halfway through the program, so I still did a good job.
Oh, my God.
Versus the other kids that did not.
Where would you even go at, like, 15?
Oh, there's this high street where all, like, the clubs and stuff were.
You can get in, though?
Yeah, they shouldn't have. The clubs would have gotten in trouble.
Because 15,
I know. I was 15. I was like, really? Okay, we're dancing.
Did you look older or something? Or I mean, you couldn't have. You look like a kid now.
No,
Wow.
No, they were terrible for letting us
But in
on.
the midst of all that, you're training hardcore then.
Yes. I still, like, I was there. My priority was ballet class. My parents didn't pay for that, actually. I raised the funds on my own to go to that school.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I was like the walking mini-mart. I would have.
How did you raise the funds?
I would carry and my friends, God bless them. I've known them since the 4th grade. They're my team.
Nice.
They called me the mini-mart. So I used to sell snacks.
Okay.
And I once held a car wash, and then I did a fundraiser. This one Latino club, they were having a dance social, so the advisor said, "Hey, you want to run the concessions, and then all the proceeds can go to your going to ballet school." And I said, "Yeah." So I did all
this you. I mean,
yeah, this was all me.
Wow, that's crazy. Because those aren't like big financial ventures, car washes and candy, like. But you were raising...
No, I sold a lot of candy. In fact, I sold so much that the school cafeteria asked me to stop because I was in competition with the snacks and the lunches.
Oh, my God.
Then they were like, well, yeah. Actually, another funny story, when I was in the 1st grade, because my mom was selling toys to, add some income to being a nurse. Mm-hmm. So I thought, well, I'm going to sell toys, too. So I brought toys to school.
Where were you getting the product from, though?
Because
You're, like, buying and then upcharging?
No, my auntie, they sell toys. They have this export thing.
Okay.
They don't do it anymore. Like, my other auntie, her brother is a fashion designer in the Philippines. So they were just trying to do some extra income.
Okay.
So I was trying to be like my mom and sell some toys too. So I had like Hello Kitty staplers and the stationery set. And I put out a blanket in the recess, all swap meet style.
How old were you?
7 years old.
Oh my God.
Or maybe 8. Yeah, it was 1st grade.
Who are you?
And then I did it for 2 days until the teacher told me, you shouldn't be selling stuff. And I said, well, why? And she said, well, you have to have a permit. And I thought, okay, well, I guess I don't have a permit. So I stopped selling.
Huh.
Then I went on and started collecting rocks or something.
But I mean, so in the midst of all this, I mean, by the time you're 13, when is your first time? What was your first gig? I guess how old were you when you got your first like paying gig in the industry?
Oh, actually, that didn't happen until in college where I did the New York Satellite program for musical theater. Mm-hmm. So you audition. They choose a select group of kids to go to New York, study and workshop how to audition, you know, what to wear, how do you walk in a room, how do you talk, blah, 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 how do you slate, how do you sing, and whatnot. And then after that, I was like, that's it? That's how you get a job? And then I go back home to Cali, book my first job doing My Fair Lady at Musical Theater West, which was La Mirada and Long Beach. Right now, it's only Long Beach. Mm-hmm. And it was with Dale Christian, who is one of the lead singers for Phantom. Like, she's famous for that role of doing Christine in Phantom. Mm-hmm. So that was my first paying gig, was My Fair Lady. I remember I had to eat an apple. What? So that's the first time I had to eat on stage, too.
Oh, okay.
Because I played some homeless little girl. So I would eat an apple, and then my little brother would come in and we'd fight. Or sometimes he would steal my apple. Or sometimes I would give it to him. But yeah, I had to eat a red apple every day for a month until I asked the company manager, can we change apples? Because I don't want to eat these apples
anymore. Are you serious?
Yeah, so they were really nice, and they bought me a different kind.
Oh, you were actually sick of the kind of apple that you
Yeah. Because I ate it every day. But, you know, it was very athletic. Like, I had to do these flips and these jumps and things because it was ballet.
So you can do that. Like, there's a gymnastic
no, not
aspect to it?
They flipped me. Like, I had two
when
partners,
they're flipping you.
And they would flip me all. Yeah, it was partnered. I don't do gymnastics. I can do a cartwheel. But they would flip me in the show.
Oh, my God. So then by the time, I mean, you get to that level, and are you like, I would imagine, like, I don't know exact dimensions, but you're like probably the perfect, how tall are you?
I'm 5'3.5".
And that's like perfect height for like dancers, right? For some reason, I feel like I've had some friends. Okay,
so
because I feel like I've had some
sure.
friends who said, "Oh, I'm too tall to do this professionally," or things like that. Like, does that matter anymore?
Yes, height does matter. I mean, depending on some auditions, they'll ask, "How tall are you?"
Oh yeah.
So
okay, so that's interesting. And then, did you have to take acting classes? Did you do a lot of that as well?
Yeah, I did that during the New York Satellite program.
So have you done many speaking roles, or has it been mostly you're the dancer?
I've done mostly dancer type things, but I've had a few lines in shows. Mm-hmm. So
primarily, has your stuff been? Your stuff is more the live performance, more like a lot of theater.
Yeah, I mean, I've shot like this one kid's pilot. It didn't get picked up, but I was male girl. It was very much like Pee Wee Herman's Playhouse type thing.
Oh, really?
So I had this huge mailbox on my head. And, you know, because everything's so internet now. So they were just, like, I was like kind of this vintage character.
Did it get picked up? Or
no, it didn't. It was very clever. I think if they had rewritten some of the material, because it was very fast. Mm-hmm. But I thought it was brilliant. The costumes were. It was actually.
Is there any? Do you have a tape of that?
I do. I'll show it to you after. But
you have it.
I do have
your
it.
Your whole
on
life
reel.
is here. You have food that you like.
Yes, I'm ready.
You have everything. You're traveling. Like, you could survive for a week.
Well, you got to be ready.
The way you travel.
I mean, that's how life is. Like, you're somewhere, and then are you ready? Do you have the clothes? Do you have the, like, things just happen.
I mean, first and foremost, the impressive thing is you honed the craft. Like, you gave up, you sacrificed a lot of your time, and you honed your craft. Like, that was the mission, and that's enormous for everybody. There's so many people, we live in this American Idol age, where some people are looking for the quick fix.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of people haven't honed
kids
the craft.
Today, they don't know. Those kids. Yeah, they don't know about working hard.
They really don't. They don't know about, and it's so funny. It might have been Steven Tyler or somebody who's in that realm who actually hosted that show, but still talks about how, like, well, they have no back end experience. Like, there's, I mean, I'm not at that level, but I'm working. God, I don't know. I do like 170 shows a year, but I remember the days of making $40 a show, $50 a show, like nothing, and singing for 4 hours in some smoky bar,
right.
And without that experience, without that, I think you need some of that character building, to maintain, where some of these people, it's such a machine out there too.
Yeah.
But you really worked at your craft like crazy.
Yeah. So then I get obsessed.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I actually do love what I do. Like, ballet class to me is my yoga.
Yeah. Okay.
I hear the music, and then suddenly there's sunshine on my arms, or especially if it's a good piano player. Uh-huh. Like, sometimes I'll go to, like, my favorite ballet class in LA, Reed Olson's at Dance Arts Academy. Leon is the best piano player ever in the world. And he will start out with some Beatles and then classical and then Carmen, he'll tie castanets on his, and it turns into a party.
So wait a minute, after you've gone through your actual training, you know, and then, you know, honing the craft, now, because you came here for this play, you know, you auditioned. Did you audition in Chicago for this?
I did. I was here at the moment, so I auditioned as a local.
You happen to be here? That's how you heard about it?
Yeah. Well, I also have my other business here.
Okay, really?
So that's why.
The crazy stuff?
Yeah.
I can't. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
that is licensed here.
So then, this is what's interesting to me. You have a run going on with The King and I right now. And wherever you lay your hat for that moment, you went on the search for a ballet school right now. You're like doing stretches right now as I'm talking to you.
No.
You're pointy-toed things going on as we speak. There's like a hair distracting because I'm looking you in the eye right now.
Don't look at my feet.
But it's almost like a tentacle. It was like kind of creepy. Like, oh hey,
yeah. But anyway, you should move every 10 minutes so you don't hurt your back.
Really?
Yeah.
America, this is a professional dancer telling you this. For all you people
moving,
with
kids.
my back, it hurts. Because I live in cars.
Sometimes that's
I feel,
the thing.
Oh my God. Sometimes I feel more like a truck driver than a singer because I'm just driving to the next show.
I know. Driving in California, I think my posture's declined because of driving.
So every 10 minutes,
you should be moving.
Anything.
Move. Yeah.
And this is just to keep yourself stretched out, to keep the muscles.
Keep the blood flowing.
Yeah.
Because sitting is actually very detrimental. Like that's why a lot of people have to see chiropractors because they sit in office all day long.
So legs twisting, just it doesn't even have to be like a crazy thing. Just move a little bit.
Yeah, I have to get up, stand up, do a dance.
Yeah.
You know, shake vigorously.
This is a professional dancer talking to you, America.
Just say, everybody dance now.
No, that's huge. These are things people should know. Like, because your body is your life. So you specifically. So for you to say that, that's like a good lesson learned. Because I feel it.
Your body's built to move. We have joints. You know, they're supposed to move, and if you don't move them, you will lose it.
Every 10 minutes, people. Do you hear that? Every 10 minutes, do something. Oh, you're so lazy, everyone. No, I feel it. My show is half. I'm singing, but I'm jumping and spinning and moving and shaking things a whole bunch of times during my show. But in the midst of that, in between that, I'm driving sometimes I mostly work in Chicago, but a lot of my shows are in the suburbs or surrounding areas. Or sometimes, you know, we are driving to like Ohio or somewhere, you know. But I noticed that, oh, God, I just feel terrible after like a day or two
driving and sitting, and that'll get you. Like
a lot of times you've changed my life.
Yeah, a lot of times you'll get injured just from sitting all day. Like if
really? I'm eating the fresh almonds that you brought.
From Fresh and Easy.
And I'm moving my back right now.
They're raw and unsalted.
Anybody listening to this, move right now. Everybody, go.
Do it.
Twist.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, you're supplying background music? So, but back to like honing your craft. So you hone your craft. Yeah. You'll look for like you came here. I'm trying to like chew this almond while I'm talking to you. You like come to town, but then you seek out a ballet school. So then that is not necessarily to learn new techniques, is it? It's just
for my sanity.
Yeah. Okay. That's beautiful. So,
I think everyone should have an artistic outlet, something that they love.
You're sitting in mine right now, in one of mine. That's what this is. Yeah.
Yay.
But yeah, so it's just for peace of mind.
Yeah.
I mean,
my
it's
yoga.
also keeping you
in shape and in training, but it helps, get the endorphins because I prefer to do ballet class because then your mind is engaged. It's a whole full body experience, and the exercises require concentration that for a moment in that class, I shut out the world. It's just focusing on me, and I can just listen to the music and do the exercises needed. Whatever it is, even if it's a bad day, you work it out. You work it out physically in that exercise.
Wow.
So it's a good exercise for the brain because you have to mentally be there. You have to shut out the whatever bad is happening outside of the world. You're like, I am here. I am in this space. I have to do this exercise. I have to finish it. I have to start here and end here.
That's awesome. Everybody needs that.
Otherwise, we'd probably have less shootings and murders if people were to release their aggression in some way.
most people don't.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, they all become Hector the Projector, and then they're like just.
Yeah, you don't have to dance. You can draw. You can have music. You can garden. I don't know. There's so many outlets out there, but that's just me.
No,
that's what I think.
People would ask me how I could do a show after having like a crappy day. After having like a terrible day. And it's so weird. Or how can you sing a happy song, if you're in a crappy mood? Or how can you sing a sad song if you're having the best day in the world? All that stuff. I don't know if you think of it this way, but early on, like really early in my singing career, I came up with this technique where like whatever happened to me during the day, whether it's bad, whether it's good, whatever it is, I would turn it into this weird kind of neutral ball of energy, and it would just live in my diaphragm, right? And then when I sing, it just all comes out. So that
you sing through it.
Yeah. So that when I'm singing, I'm delivering actual emotion. Like I'm feeling something, It doesn't even matter what I'm singing half the time.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's something that I really love, then it really pours out. But I can get lost in that moment, and then it kind of empties me out for the day, which is a real good thing. I don't feel whatever went on in my day turns into energy, and it's neutral. I think that's the important thing. If you can kind of make it just make it what it is, which is energy. Yeah. It doesn't matter if it's bad or good, and then you pour it all out. I mean, oh God, talk about a stretch,
Yeah, exactly.
Talk about stretching your mental and emotional muscles. But that's been my technique for a while.
I think that's exactly how I do it with dance.
Yeah.
I take it.
Oh man, high five! Ready?
Oh yeah.
Bam! That was hard. We had to reach across the table. So now you've honed your craft. Now and then now we're like skipping from beginning to end because and now you're at this place where you travel with all of your nuts and your food and whatever else. You brought tea. You're like I have tea. I know
it's the hoarder in me.
I'm so happy that I had peanut butter because I felt like my kitchen was useless.
I didn't have peanut butter, so this is perfect. God. This was kismet.
Man, I feel lucky because finally I'm like everything was a no. Like, well, I don't want any coffee. I don't want any of that. You know what? Peanut butter sandwich. I think you screamed. I was like shaving, and you're like, oh, hey, how about peanut butter sandwich? I was so glad that I had something for you. But so anyway, in the midst of honing the craft, when did it just start rolling for you? Like, did you get an agent, and then, or what happened? Or was it through your dance company?
Oh, well, I actually didn't get an agent till after working the biggest job of my life, Celine Dion show.
What? How did you get the Celine Dion show then?
Okay, so I graduated from UC Irvine. And right after that, I enrolled and I auditioned to be a scholarship student at this studio that doesn't exist anymore.
Okay.
Zeal Studios. And from there, I was taking 10 classes a week for free. On top of that, I was also taking acting and singing. I was ready.
Nice.
I was ready for that big job. And during that summer, I looked on Backstage, the newspapers, and they had an audition, and I saw Franco Dragon, which is one of the creators of Cirque du Soleil, Celine Dion. I'm like, But I really wanted to work and do something creative because I had watched in 95 Cirque du Soleil's Mystère. So, and after I watched that show, I thought, oh my God, that's what I want to do. I mean, this was back in the day where, right now there's like 10 Cirque shows. This was back where there was only one show. And that was such a magical moment. I thought, oh my God, I want to do something that huge and spectacular.
So
and it was like Avatar, just so. And then when I saw that name and Celine, I was like, oh my God, these are huge names. Franco, Celine, I'm going to go. It's an open call. So I went to the open call. There was probably 300 people on that one day. And there were open calls every day that week. So huge, and everybody was in the room. And the first thing that the casting director, Jean-Emile, who highly respected dancer in the dance world, amazing, I can't believe I worked with him, he just has us walk across the room.
That's it?
That was it, 2 at a time. And from that point on, he was cutting people's faces.
Just based on the walk?
Yeah, well, you can tell how trained a person is just on how they're walking.
Wow.
So, because he showed a very specific walk.
Oh, did he do it himself?
Yes, he did it. And there's like a way, if they're trained, how the feet roll through the floor, how they push off, how they carry their body, their energy, if they're, Wow. So, and there was everybody, their mama was there. I remember there's some raver people, because he said, okay, everybody warm up. And there's this guy who had like pink car seat on his arms and his back, and he just sat there in his chair and just stared at everyone. And I thought, that guy is not getting a job. And I did ballet, my Horton modern technique, like I did every warm-up. I'm like, I'm ready for this job. And I was young, and I was so ready. And they had us walk one at a time. And then, so he was cutting. And then when he got to me, he said, I don't know, number so-and-so, step out more. And I thought, yes.
That was you?
That was me.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I have his attention. And so every time, and then he would increase, like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back, more cuts. Because people didn't know how to turn the right way.
Really?
Yeah. So, and it just, it just increased our going across would increase and become more elaborate. And every time I would go across, he just kept picking on me. So, and then by the end, there was maybe 10 people. It was like a whole 6-hour day. And then he said, well, I don't like how it's going now, so you have to come back tomorrow. I thought, oh, okay. Wow. All right, another callback. So then another 6 hours of dancing, and we made it to the end. And then at the end, they had us to do improvisation, like acting-wise, and singing.
Like acting-wise?
Yeah, they had us do acting improv games all together, and then sing. Like, this was the craziest audition I ever did. And I was ready, because I was a scholarship student and taking acting and singing. So I'm like, this is it. And actually, that was probably one of my best auditions, because I was very calm, and I was just playing along. And then they said, okay, well, you're our finalist on, I think it was February 21st, or you're going to get this email, and if you get it, like, that's when we're going to let you know if you get this job. So I prayed every day after that audition.
Oh.
Prayed and prayed. I never prayed and wanted anything so bad in my life. And then that day, I checked my email, and I got the email, and I screamed and danced. Like, the email said I was going to Belgium. This was, I was just out of school. Oh, my God. I couldn't believe it. I booked this job. Out of 10,000 people that they auditioned in the world, me, graduate of UC Irvine, going to Belgium. Like, I'd never been to Europe. I couldn't believe it. That was a dream come true.
So you get the big job. Mm-hmm. How closely did you work with her?
Oh, well, I really wasn't in her face a lot.
I didn't think you guys were having
there
breakfast.
There were 48 dancers.
Okay.
But she knew everybody, and she was very sweet. Like, at parties, she'd greet everyone personally.
Was she really nice?
Oh, yeah. She's really generous, very kind, amazing, beautiful spirit. And goofy. We would play games. One time we had this thing where we had a marble game.
Play games?
Yeah. Where she wanted, but then, okay, we had this game where they had marbles specially made that said A New Day, our show on it. And we had to show a marble. And then if the other person didn't show their marble, you'd have to go to the office and tell them they didn't have a marble. So they would take note of it. Anyway, it's a long story. After Celine left and told us about the game, the stage manager said, you are not playing this game on stage. Focus on what you're supposed to. So, but it got really crazy. At that time, I was trying to buy a house, so I couldn't really play the game. Mm-hmm. People were playing marble game, showing up from under the table, like, where's your marble?
What is this game?
It was hardcore, because if you...
What is the marble game?
It's a game that Celine invented while she was on tour.
Okay.
With her tour kids.
And what do they do?
And you just had to show, and if you didn't have it, you get marked off. And then if you were the person with the most marked off, you would have to do a skit at the upcoming party.
Where they would
was hardcore.
Hide marbles everywhere? How does this work?
No, everyone had a marble.
Everyone had a marble.
And if you didn't have it on you,
just every time.
You had to have it.
Oh, that's intense.
I know. So then sometimes I was almost had to do the skit. But the thing is, and then if you got the most, you would get a prize. I want to say it was $5,000 or $2,000. It was crazy, and people wanted as much.
You would make the dough. You would make that much money.
Because that's what Celine's husband okay. Whoever wins gets this, chump change.
And how was he? He was
very, very sweet and very relaxed, kind of in the background kind of guy. And Celine would be hey, this is my party. Welcome. She would be in the front, and she's very. I mean, when she walks into the room, she is a star.
She's a big, boisterous
Oh, my
presence.
God. She walks in the room, her energy and her personality, that is a star.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know anybody like that. Even, because I worked with Elton John, and Elton John's kind of cool. He wears tracksuits, but he isn't boom, I'm Celine. Celine is she's got this. Oh, my God. And then her husband would be very, very calm. But at one party for Christmas, she was, she gives these long speeches I love you and all. I'm so happy. She's very gracious. She always pours her heart out. She's a very emotional kind of lady.
Oh, nice.
And then at one Christmas, Renee, her husband, comes up to the mic and she says, well, I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart and my wife's bottom. It was so cute. We all laughed, and she turns to him, and she's like, oh, like, you know, they're just really, really, really cute together. Like, that's just how it was. And we had so many amazing parties. I couldn't have any, I didn't have a camera. We weren't allowed to have cameras.
Of course.
Sorry.
Oh, no. We've reached the 50-minute mark. Like most of the podcasts, at some point, somebody ends up coughing up.
Almond.
I think it's always because of all the different stuff that we eat, like while we're doing this. See, now you should have had the ice cream. That's what's going on. But I don't know why it's always at around the 50-minute mark. I don't know why. Yeah, you know. So do you?
That is funny.
Do you need more time?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you are not the first person that
to choke on the 50 mark.
It's become So we've reached the 50-minute choke.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Now I'm taken back in time, back in the Celine days.
Yeah, this is awesome. Yeah,
man, we had amazing parties, ice sculptures.
For some reason, I thought so. This was for her tour. Like,
this is for her sit-down show in Vegas.
Okay, but when you said
in Belgium,
so she took it on the road for a bit.
No. We did Creation because Franco Dragone, one of the creators of Cirque, he wanted everyone to come to his hometown.
Oh.
So all of us flew in from all over the world. Here I am with amazing lead principal dancers.
What did he have everybody go to his hometown for? Just
because he didn't want to do it in New York, or he wanted everyone to come to his
Wait,
home.
Are you saying for prep? For
creation of the show.
No.
So I'm original.
How long were you out there?
5 months. That was my first time living in Europe. Every weekend I was gone. I've been to Paris 6 times, Amsterdam. Anyway, but that was amazing. We danced for 8 hours. We had ballet class and then improvisation, and I also had percussion lessons and aerial classes and voice. I did all of it.
How old were you?
I had just graduated school, so 22.
You were like living the life,
I know,
man.
Everyone, all the people I was cast with were older, like lead principal dancers of their own company from Canada, Italy, here, New York.
And you were just a baby.
Yeah, so I hung out with my friend who graduated from Juilliard, so we were like the young kids. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I was a baby.
Oh my God. I mean, that's awesome. How long were you out there again?
5 months.
Like 5
and then
months?
Middle of that, we did a fam trip, a familiarization trip because a lot of the Europeans had never been to the U.S. So they took us for a week back to Vegas. They housed us and everything, so we could all find our housing.
The money in these productions.
I know.
I mean, that's.
I had no idea. Here I am so young.
Yeah.
And then, like in Europe, here we are with our own cars, with our own logo. We would go to the grocery store. People would come up to us.
What is the logo? Like Celine Dion,
no,
like
it
a
was
big CD?
Franco Dragone's
logo.
Of course. Eyeball with a fire thing. But they knew they're like, those are the Celine Dion dancers. So we'd always have to go through this gated area. People would be singing Celine Dion songs. Outside of where I was living, there was all these 3 kids who would always sing Celine Dion songs. I was like, oh my God. I had no idea. I should have taken more pictures. I never took any of those. This was pre-iPhone days.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was crazy.
And so then when that was over, you come back to Vegas. How long were you in the Vegas show?
I was there for 5 years. So I definitely grew up in that show.
Whoa.
Yeah, I opened it, closed it. I know it's a long time for most artists. Most artists are like, what? You should just do something for 3 months and you move on. But the show was always changing. And because...
How involved did you get in kind of the Cirque du Soleil aspect of it? Were you like spinning from a rope, or were you primarily doing the ballet?
Mostly ballet. I mean, they tried...
Did they have you do anything weird?
They were trying to have us do weird things, but then it ended up just being more of a concert dance show.
Oh, okay.
But we did have aerial, so I did fly 500 feet.
No way.
Yeah, so I did some, like I was in a frame that went and moved across the stage, and then from there we would just slowly change, kind of like a Harry Potter movie, and change from one position to the next. Very subtle, very artsy. So
you're holding position.
We're suspended in the air.
Like, where's the, like, are you wearing a whole, like, harness, like a vest
harness,
type of thing?
I think it was like a rappelling type thing.
Okay. Oh, so wait, a rappelling? Now,
underneath our costume.
I've done the rappelling thing, and it was very uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's hard. You have to squeeze your legs and your cha-cha.
I was just going to say, was it like,
it's not comfortable.
Like the crotch area?
Yeah, it's not comfortable.
So it's like that?
Yep.
Oh,
my God. And you're
God.
suspended beforehand, and, you just kind of find an angle, but then afterwards, if your legs start to fall asleep, like...
Yeah, I was going to say, how long...
Then, oh, God, maybe 2 minutes, maybe even 5, 6 actually.
But
Because we had to be
5,
preset.
6 minutes.
That's a long time.
First, your preset, and then 5, 6 minutes you're doing that, and
do
that's
the whole thing. Then we come
what
around.
8 times a week.
No, actually, no. We only did shows Wednesday through Sunday, and then last year, when every other Wednesday was off, and everybody was jealous because by the end we had, 18 to 22 weeks of vacation, and we still got paid.
Oh my!
This is why I didn't leave.
This
is
the
never
money
happens.
gig, man. That is the gig.
That's why during that whole time, those 5 years, I was at a different country, like 2 countries a year. People bought $1,000 shoes. I went and visited other countries.
That is brilliant. Do you have a favorite country?
Thailand.
Oh,
I've been there
really?
6 times.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Why Thailand?
Because they do tourism amazing. They know how to, everyone's very sweet and nice and polite. It's probably the only place in the world where like a Muslim and a Christian and all these different churches, religions, all in one street, and everyone's cool.
They all get along.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, how is that possible? Everyone's cool.
Oh, I like that.
They don't do road rage, even though it has the worst traffic in the world. I mean, you think LA traffic? No, Bangkok traffic is bad. And then the fruits. I mean, first of all, you're rich because our dollar goes a long way. And then the food seems enhanced, but it's not.
What's that flight
it's just
like?
natural.
What's the flight?
Oh, it's a long flight.
Yeah.
God, I haven't gone in years, but it's long. But that's where you catch up on your movies.
So
I watched like 3 movies going there.
I was just in Alaska last weekend. That wasn't that far. It was like 6 hours. That wasn't so bad. But that's like in the U.S. I've been to different places around the world, but man, it's all about the people too. Like, were the people in Thailand just the regular? Well,
yeah.
I mean, yeah, the different churches are getting along,
and everyone is pretty good with English. And then because I look like them, I blend in.
Yeah.
Like I felt very safe if I were to go to the market myself.
Because what did you say you're
Filipino Chinese.
Filipino.
My mom is
half and
Chinese.
half.
No. I'm a quarter. My mom is half Chinese.
Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, it's all about the cultures, because I feel like if you go to I don't know, I like islands a lot. So if I can get away, I go to the Caribbean. If I can't, that's and I don't like to go. I mean, nothing against like a St. Thomas, but I had a gig actually on like this yacht. I had to sing on a yacht for these like high up bank people, and it's funny. I actually turned the gig down because it wasn't really much of a money gig. But they kept saying, no, you don't understand. You're going to vacation like George Clooney. Like, this, you could not afford what we're going to put you through, and all you have to do is just sing a couple hours a night. And I said no every time. This is when I was first starting out in the city of Chicago doing just piano bar gigs, And the piano player is like, please, please, please. I'm like, no, I'm not going to take a vacation from singing just to sing. And the guy who was playing piano while I sang just kept saying, please, this sounds too good. And finally they said, okay, you know what? Like, it's like, because it was something like whatever, $12,000 a person to do this. Just that's how much money they put into it. You would get your own, manservant, and people feel it was crazy.
That is crazy.
Yeah, but then they said, you know what? We'll double it, and we bring a spouse or a person. I wasn't married or anything at the time, but I brought who would eventually become my wife.
Ew.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right, fine. And it's funny because she used to always hate the fact that like Mondays typically I would try not to talk all day. That would be like a vocal rest day. She would hate it. I would like write letters, and and I got more classically trained before I became like full-time musician singer, because I thought, I'm gonna have to like really. I had to hone the craft,
Yeah.
But at the time, I hadn't gone through classical training yet, and I was losing my voice a lot more. So anyway, I just remember her hating the Mondays off, and then the first time we're like on a yacht in the Caribbean, in a jacuzzi on the yacht, she like looked over and she's like, you just shut up anytime you need to be quiet, it's okay. She completely changed her tune. But I mean, we landed in St. Thomas, and I'd never been on an island before, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is awesome.
No, I love islands.
But oh my God, by the time we went through like Jos Van Dyke, which like only has like 190 people on the whole island, or like Virgin Gorda, or some of the islands that you don't always hear about. I went back to St. Thomas to fly out, and I thought, this is like a bad flea market. Like, there's some great islands out there that people should really. But anyway, after a while, everyone's friendly, but they're also just trying to sell you something everywhere you go. In fact, after a while, have you noticed that like it's the same bracelets. It's the same,
Right,
everywhere you go that's touristy, you know. But anyway,
they're just trying to make them.
which is great, nothing wrong with that. But cut to Alaska, which I just happened to have a gig out there, so I went to Alaska last weekend and landed. And the town, I was in Anchorage, and the town itself seemed kind of, normal town. There was nothing very impressive about Anchorage, and that's like their flagship town. You're surrounded by mountains, and that's kind of cool, But it's the people. Nowhere in the world, and I've been around now, I've never seen a more welcoming community. They want to be there. They're like, well, we're so far away from everything, but we're Americans, but we want to be here. And
that's cool.
Everybody that sees you, oh, hey, how you doing? Oh, you taking a pic? Hey, let me take the picture with you. You know that mountain range is the biggest mountain range. Like, they all know the history. That's the biggest mountain range in North America. And,
that's so sweet.
Oh, by the way, you should get coffee in here. It's the oldest building like everything about them. And I had to do this improv part of the show. I was performing for basically the people who built Alaska, like this company or this association. They built like every road and every school. And I was... it was different. I was told to sing, but maybe because of the podcast too, I've developed this little improv thing, and they had me joke with the crowd. So I was almost doing stand-up, but not quite, because it was improv. But anyway, when it was all over, everyone who comes up to you after you perform there, at least me anyway, they weren't saying, oh, thank you, or you were great. I mean, they would say that kind of stuff, but the first thing everybody said, 700 people in the crowd, was welcome. Everyone, as soon as they shook your hand for the first time after seeing you perform, everybody said, welcome to Anchorage, welcome to Alaska. It was just a different vibe, you know. And
I love that. That's
that whole, I don't know. It really, when you travel so much, it's really about the people after a while.
It totally is.
I think I've gotten to that point. Like, there's still things I want to see. I haven't been to Paris.
Chocolate croissant.
Oh, you know what? I heard that was like your jam, by the way, and there weren't any yesterday. I went late night shopping for you because...
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, well, I heard chocolate.
I love this chocolate cookie.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
I know, and you haven't even had the... I'm going to read it to you. You just stay here.
What?
I'm walking to my fridge. I'm going to read
He's walking to his fridge.
Yes. Give your commentary.
And now he's pulling out an ice cream?
Yes.
For me?
Listen to this.
What?
Because I heard chocolate was your jam, and then I heard you liked ice cream, so what I got was chocolate ice cream with chocolate cookies and swirls of chocolate pudding ice cream.
Oh my God.
I know, is that right?
Orgasmic.
Are you ready for that yet?
Sure.
Yeah, really? I don't know. Open it up.
Let's rock it out.
But anyway, so now I can tell you what I tell everybody. Like, now you're like officially a guest on the podcast because it's all about like digressing and just going off the beaten path and just like, and then blah, 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 blah.
Go with it.
But I want to hear about Elton John. How did that happen? While I get you a spoon.
Oh, Elton. Well, basically, that was, in the middle of Celine's because he shared our stage too. It's funny because when his people would come in, we had this huge green room but we called it the Ultra Lounge.
Ooh, you don't actually have to eat that right now if you don't want to, but I mean...
No, I'll eat it. Sure.
When in Rome,
Check
man.
this. I'm eating it right now.
Yeah. I want to report. I want to review because it sounds pretty... You're all about chocolate, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's your jam?
Uh-huh. When I was Tiger Lily in the Peter Pan tour, the girls would all hate me because every night after the show, everybody would go out for drinks, but I would have chocolate cake. Oh. I don't know why. I was going through this chocolate cake phase. And then now I'm going through ice cream and chocolate phase.
And it's weird that you're going through that phase now, like you're in like 20-degree weather in Chicago.
I know! That's what's peculiar.
It's kind of strange. Like, I would have thought it would have been like a hot chocolate phase.
But it's funny because I think I've asked the universe for ice cream because we have catering at the King and I show that I'm doing right now in Marriott. Okay. And then I've kind of befriended the room service guy who's in charge. And then he asked I asked, oh, hey, is the ice cream for sale? From another person. Then later on he said, I heard you wanted ice cream. And out comes this ice cream, like all free.
Oh my gosh, see? The life that is you.
That is
You're
my
living
life.
the life.
I love my life.
Woo!
Oh yeah, but you want to know about Elton.
I do want to know about Elton. Well, I'm going to ask you every question like right when you take a bite now.
He's amazing. But we did a fundraiser. I think it was for Katrina. Was
it one gig that you did for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, one gig. And really sweet, man. Because we watched him and Celine rehearse a song together. That was badass.
For the fundraiser
thing. Yeah, it was out
so
on our
like
home
what
stage.
did he see the show and say, oh, I want some of your dancers, or like how did it happen? Do you even know?
They wanted all of us and anyone who was available to be part of it,
Oh, so
and
you
so we were
just-
all in it, all of us,
Aw,
all
that's beautiful.
family. We were a huge family, and they just set us on stage, and we did Saturday, Saturday,
Nice.
and we had to dance the whole song. That's a very long song, kids. So man, I remember thinking, oh my god, because at first I was really giving it my all, and then I was like, oh my god, the song is so long. Keep going. As we're thrashing about.
And you're like freestyling it? Is
Yep.
that okay?
Yep, freestyling the whole time. It was fun.
So when you're doing something like that, like stylistically, what are you doing? What are you like, I mean, you're doing like bits of ballet, or are you just more like just woo, hands in the air?
That one, yeah, was more party, thrashing my hair. I might have thrown some ballet in there because I love ballets. But yeah, I can see
for
that
a long
happening.
song, like to constantly do the hair
Yeah, I was probably
thrashing.
like kicking my face and then falling into the splits and then head roll, and then fist pump and then hips. Yeah, I was probably doing that.
Okay, wow, God, sounds
So
exhausting.
it was brilliant fun because here I am. Elton John's right next to me, jamming on the piano.
That is
and
awesome.
I'm on stage with him. Yeah, he was really cool. He greeted everyone. I shook his hand, and then he kissed all the boys. I'm like, damn it.
Really?
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
just got the handshake?
Yeah, I got the handshake.
Oh man. Oh well. Any butt pats? Did he pat anybody's?
I didn't notice that. I
Okay.
just remember
But just kissing.
One of my friends came and was like, Elton kissed me. And I was like, oh, that's not fair.
Man.
But we had a lot of celebs come to our show. Our opening night was just an audience full of celebs.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, we were on TV. I remember it was like Catherine Zeta-Jones, like everybody and anyone who came has watched our show. Like
Through the
Arsenio
Celine
Hall.
show, have you met a couple celebrities, or is it gets a little tricky because it's a
Ricky
weird...
Martin came to see us one time.
Really?
He came down.
Were you an old
It was really
school Ricky
sweet.
Martin fan?
No. Oh, you mean like no? He's really sweet. I had
Yeah.
no idea how sweet he would be, but he was very sweet, and he actually gave us all kisses.
Oh, okay.
He came down, and then what's his name from Will and Grace came, because a lot of them just only did the meet and greet with Celine, or we just saw him on because we were the first. Our show was a technological advancement in just the performing industry. We were the
Okay.
first ones to have the LED screen on the back.
Oh, really?
Ever, yeah. We had the largest TV in North America and the largest stage in North America.
Wow.
A lot of amazing breakthroughs happened with our show. So, and we had this thing where they would show candidly all the celebs or normal people. And one time, like, Arsenio Hall and Eddie Murphy watched our show, and they showed them on the camera as I punched the table on the camera, and they were like doing some funny shtick.
Really?
Got the whole audience laughing.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, we've had celebs. Michael Jackson came to see me.
Wow.
See me. I mean, see us.
Hey, he saw you. Hey, you're part of the show.
Yeah, and
I mean,
I
they
remember-
saw her, but they came for the show.
Oh my gosh, our show started so late because of him, and people were booing in the audience. And Celine was leaning over the rail saying, "I can't do anything. It's not. We have to wait." Like she's so silly.
How late was he?
Oh man, we were probably like 35 minutes late.
Did she tell the
People
crowd
were
this?
booing.
Or?
No, we didn't say anything until him, and then like his whole entourage had like an army in front and behind him, like
Oh.
covering him.
Michael Jackson saw you perform.
Yes,
Oh
I know,
my
right?
God.
And then we saw him get escorted into these VIP seats. Mm-hmm. And then there was one moment where, because I was one of the swingers, well, not a swinger, but I got to sit in a swing. There was a moment where she sang "If I Could,"
Yeah.
and then it showed like this park scene, and then I would come down from 5 stories up, sitting on a swing, and just probably. I mean, when I did that number, I always just thought I'm in my hometown in my park and I'm a little kid.
Nice.
So that was the energy I gave as we doing "If I Could," this very like a flashback in time. That's what I felt like. But I remember coming down and the lights went down and shined where Michael Jackson was, and I saw him for a split second, and then he put on his sunglasses, and then he watched the rest of the show with his sunglasses on.
Well, he's Michael Jackson.
Yeah, but I was just like, oh, he couldn't like keep them off and like enjoy the show just for himself. But he probably thought, well, the lights just went on him, so he didn't want anyone to see him. That's what I think.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, oh, Michael.
But you have this. What a moment! What a moment
I know.
you have in time.
I was like, that's Michael.
But but I mean, even a moment of like observation, like you got to see like a little peek of
Yeah,
him,
like
and
this vulnerability of him
Yeah.
putting on the glasses. Like, I have to be Michael Jackson versus like, you know, where you go to a show and you're like, okay, I'm here, entertainment, I'm gonna like watch it and just relax and like be taken aback by the show. No, for that moment in time, I'm Michael Jackson. He put on the glasses, and he had to be Michael Jackson for the rest of the show.
I know a lot of people that have had different little experiences just in passing, but most of them have seen him, or, you know, I've talked on other podcasts about how my father was actually, since Michael Jackson's from Gary, Indiana, my dad was like on the same bill as him for a second, you know, but nobody that I know in my life has been seen, like you were in a show and he was watching your show. Like that's, come on.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Looking back at all the things I've
forever
done,
and ever, like one of the biggest like pop cultural icons of our generation and so many generations. I mean, he's going to be around for a bit. He's the new Elvis, you know, like he's going to be around forever. And he sat down and he watched a production that you were in.
And I saw him.
And you
I couldn't
saw him.
Looking out into the audience. I'm like, there he is.
Your life. Your life. And then how did you get where is that where the American Music Awards came from too? Or
no, that was my agent called. After the Celine Dion show, I got representation.
You didn't need an agent. You're like working for Celine Dion without an agent.
Yeah.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
5 years of like wonderful work.
Yeah,
no
because
agent.
we did a lot of gigs during the Celine show. Like we did World Music Awards, and I've done the Tonight Show. Like I sang with her on the Tonight Show. I couldn't believe they selected 4 singers.
Wait, what?
Yeah, for
like
a moment.
4 background singers? Or
something? At the time, I was singing also.
Wait a minute. So you're saying that we can YouTube like Celine Dion Tonight Show and we might see you?
I could never find.
What are you wearing?
We were all wearing black suits. We were promoting, or like black outfits.
Okay. Oh, like the Celine Dion smart outfit.
Yeah. Well,
sometimes she wears that like pant out.
No, she was wearing a ball gown, but we were all just like in a chorus of.
But just 4 of you? Oh, there were 8 of you.
8 of us, because she has her own backup, and then they did an audition within the cast. So I was one of the selected singers.
Who are you, man?
I couldn't believe it. We stayed in the Beverly Hills. Oh gosh, it was a fancy hotel, not the Beverly Hills Hotel.
So was it Jay Leno then?
Yeah, it was Jay Leno then. And yeah, I couldn't believe it. And they were really sweet. I was able to call my parents and get them seats, so they were able to watch it.
Oh, that's nice.
And then, I couldn't believe it that I am singing for Celine. I was like, is that my life right now? But yeah, I was one of the few singers in the show. And we also, even though it's 5 years, everyone's like, how could you do the same show? The show actually changed. And we added songs, or so for like Christmas, or we'd add Christmas. So like we had some of us recorded for some of the songs, and so some of my background
of course
would
be
be multiplied.
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
that's me singing in the show. So yeah, that's where I learned how to, to fly and sing. Not to sing, but I did all these extra things.
Yeah.
And then also, we were very spoiled. They provided training for us. Mm-hmm. So every ballet class was free.
Oh,
they would fly in people from Paris and everywhere. Here from Chicago, because you guys have amazing dance training. Teachers and company people to train us, to keep us happy. And then we also had our own medical facility, because we had a very high injury rate. So we had our own chiro and like 2 massage people.
So like after a certain run, it was like you could schedule a massage.
That was part of your day. You do ballet 3:30 to 5, then you do notes, and every show was different because there was always some person injured, and there wasn't an official track thing or understudy. And because I was one of the young ones, I think they always just had me flip flopping, learning.
Did you get injured during the run at all?
I have several times, but
during the 5 years?
Yep.
Oh my God!
I mean, that's just part of life,
I mean, that's part.
But we
of
had an amazing doctor, Trev Hennessy, who's Elton John's chiro now.
Yeah.
Amazing! I'm shouting you out because he has fixed me. I would so many times still.
Well, here's something interesting, because I think most people think about the dance world, and then you don't necessarily think about injuries as much. I mean, I think I've seen some productions where occasionally you see a dancer and there's a rap. Like, okay, something happened to her ankle maybe, or something like that. But outside of some of the things that they showed at like that Black Swan movie or whatever, you never really think about
the pain that we dance through.
The pain that you dance through. Like, I mean, it's like being professional athletes, like, is it like, well, even now, like the King and I is an easier production, you're saying.
Oh yeah,
right?
I could do that show for 5 years.
And like nothing.
Eat cake
but
and
now,
ice cream, it's all good.
But now, like the Celine show, that was a little more hardcore.
Yes, athletic,
so like, I mean,
crazy.
when you're doing that, and you said it was Wednesday through Sunday, were there double days? Like, did you do 2 shows?
No,
it was always
no.
one show.
It was always one show.
See, that's even
That
because
was
of her
sweet.
too. Like, she, you know,
so
because
that
she
was good.
blows.
Yeah,
you
that's
know.
the thing too for her. Yeah, she was always full. Oh my gosh! I mean, her voice, her machine is
She's
just
perfect.
amazing.
I think
her pitch.
it's-
Oh my god!
The crazy thing is, I'm not even the biggest fan of her music per se. Like, I don't know if I own a Celine Dion CD, you know, but every time, especially that one run she had where like every award show she performed, she's one of the most perfect vocalists, especially in like the pop world and stuff, you know, because people say, oh, this style of singing versus this style. Like, make no mistake about it, that chick is the real
works
deal.
her ass
She's
off.
perfect. She's one of the most perfect singers.
and so gracious.
Oh, really?
She
That's
had a
great.
meet and greet every night before the show with all
Really?
her fans. And she was always smiling, like always, because she was always so grateful for her fans.
Oh man, that's beautiful.
And before every show, she would do her whole show before every show. Every night.
What?
She would go in, musicians, they'd do a crazy sound check, but she would like harmonize, like hum, and then she'd be walking back and forth. While we're in her ballet class, she'd be like, you could hear her, the musicians, and she'd
That
do
was
the
her
entire,
warm-up?
That was her warm up. But not full out.
Yeah,
But you
yeah,
could hear
yeah.
her, and I remember peeking one time, and she's like, it doesn't sound right here on this part of the stage. Like her ear, and I was like, it sounds great to me.
Wow,
But
so
she
she's
knew.
a true producer
perfectionist.
as well. On-stage producer.
On stage, she listened to her whole show before the whole show every night, 5 years. I mean, that is a lady who works hard. And I would sing, like while I'm suspended, preset, whatever, I would sing along and I would run out of air and she would still keep going.
She's a machine. So
Yeah.
then what made you, so that in the midst of all that, you're able to do the Tonight Show, you're able to do the Elton John thing. Like, what other cool stuff happened in that 5
During that,
years?
well, because we had a lot of time off and
How much time off? You 22 weeks, you said? Something like that?
yeah, I think we started with 15 weeks in the beginning. Mostly.
What a job.
Well, and then this is a thing too. What happened? It was like, well, I have all this free time. What am I going to do? So I also went back to school. I got my master's in education.
Oh, beautiful. Wow. Okay.
So I did that as well. And then I joined this Sweet Adelines, this a cappella old lady chorus group. So I used to sing in this a cappella group.
So you're a good singer.
I mean, I just,
Same backup for Celine Dion.
I'm not like Whitney,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not like soul like and riff or anything. I just,
Sure.
I keep the harmony and
Nice.
like your legit musical theater sound, I think.
Oh, and in perfect, like, a chatter of fact fashion, I was bouncing around, but I was curious more about talking about the whole injury thing, because it is tough. Like, that's a tough part of the life, huh?
Yeah.
Because you're going and it could be anything, because you're a high-end athlete basically, but at some point, it's just the repetition, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
yeah.
like, what is the most common? Was there one kind of common, injury? Everybody, oh no, it's that.
For that show, well, everybody has neck problems. But
Neck
that's,
problem.
Yeah, I have
Just
to
to the
see.
whipping and the.
Yeah, because we did a lot of head whip things because it's Mia Michaels choreography. So my neck is forever messed up from that show, but it's okay. Like, that's just life.
Yeah.
I stay at Cairo at least once or twice, or
Wow.
once every 2 months, depending on what I'm doing.
Anything with the toes or the ankles or the.
Not so much. I had some knee. It all just depends.
Yeah.
But because they had me learning different parts, which was good for me to switch it up, so I wasn't as injured as some people.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
I was also younger than a lot of the other. I mean, that could be it too, or
Yeah.
maybe, just diet to whatever stressful things are happening in your life. It all just depends on, how you're warming up and training. And this show, because of the Pilates and yoga that was available to us, we had the machinery and we had doctors that taught me how to take care of myself. So that's
Wow.
why I'm still able to do what I'm doing. And a lot of my friends who are in the Celine show, like, some of them are in their mid-40s and they're Cirque du Soleil, like, just
Wow.
still performing.
So that's amazing.
So, it all just, if you want to, because if you want to have that bit of crazy in you, because it is very demanding, and then if you want to still keep up the training, but you do have to take care of yourself. That's why I don't do, the late night crazy partying. Well,
Yeah.
if I didn't have ballet the next day, maybe I would. But, I got to make it to ballet class.
But what would you?
So-
So you haven't been like out here. What have you done in Chicago? Like, what? What have you done for? You don't have a lot of time.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're in 8 shows a week.
Yeah. You
So
said
I
you
don't
what?
get
You went to the
home
Art
till-
Institute?
Yeah,
Was that
I've
nice?
gone to the Chicago Art Institute, which
Okay.
is lovely. And I've been to the zoo when it wasn't so cold, because I got here
nice.
October 2nd.
Oh, good. Okay. Have you seen other productions here?
Yeah, I watched 2 of Marriott. I watched their cats. I also watched cats at... God, when everyone does cats, everybody does cats. So I watched my friends in their shows.
Do you have a favorite show?
I want to do Avenue Q so bad.
Oh, that's...
I'm in that commercial.
Oh, how?
Google. They did the recording. They recorded it in L.A. and I'm on the face, so I know I'm close. And I actually was called back for it on Broadway, but nobody leaves that show.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was years ago.
Speaking of leaving shows, like what caused the end of the Celine show? Did she just stop?
It just closed. Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Like all
okay.
things, everything must end. So
Oh my gosh, what an
that was a very emotional moment.
Yeah, that had to be something.
We had roses pouring from the ceiling.
on the last show.
Yep.
Oh man,
It was intense. And then everyone had to go back home to their respective countries. So a lot of families. And that's the thing. Like,
And these are people you lived with.
yep.
Oh man, what a big,
But-
humongous family.
Yeah,
you
that
had.
was a humongous family, and we're still connected, and we have reunions, and
Do you like where does something like that happen?
we had one in LA. We're like, who's in LA? And then we did like our own thing, and then we danced in the streets.
I wondered. You guys are like Fame, right? Because it's a bunch of dancers.
And then,
like, what
like-
happened? Is that like we'll call a cab? Call in the cab, and everyone's just like flipping. That I'm thinking like Fame in my head. Like,
yeah, we did something like that.
What
And
do you
then
mean you
we
danced in
recorded
the
our-
streets?
Yeah, we did. We did some little bit. We did like a part of our like moments of that happened in our show, and then we recorded it because we have this Facebook community page of just us.
Oh,
and
nice.
then we just shared. Like,
So you guys are like
the New York reunion,
walking
the
to
Vegas reunion,
you're
the LA reunion.
You're
So-
walking to the cafe, and then you guys just break out into the routine, and there's like 20 of you. Like,
Yeah.
is this a flash mob? Like, well, yeah, it is.
No,
Kind
well, we did it at the end of a block where there was nobody. Like, it wasn't a cafe, but yeah, we were in the streets.
the life. You're
We're
like
a
a
good
walking
time.
musical.
We were a good time.
So then, what happens? Like, you're in that steady run. Like, what happens after that? Like, by the
my
way, do you
God.
need any kind of break? Because we're going here.
No, we're cool. We're cool.
Yeah.
It was devastating because like here we had this regular gig for 5 years.
When did you get the agent right after that or during?
After when I
Okay.
moved to LA.
How'd you like LA?
I love LA because it's Vegas. I mean, it's just fun because everyone visits you, but there's not much to do. Like I
Yeah,
love festivals
yeah.
and art, and they don't really have that in Vegas.
Sure.
So the good thing is everyone visits, and I'll go to a buffet. Or I'll watch a show, and then and then the thing is, then next thing you know, it's vacation time, and then
you
I
like-
go to another country.
You like Vegas a lot? I mean, not Vegas, LA.
Oh, LA, I prefer it because like my favorite beach is there, Manhattan Beach,
Oh,
Ventura Beach. And then my friends are all there and it's sunny and warm.
yeah.
I can walk around in a bikini and it's all good.
And here you are in the middle of like the
Fully
Arctic,
clothed here in Chicago.
fully clothed. You're on the
But no,
fully clothed
Chicago's
tour.
everyone I've met in Chicago is very nice.
Yeah,
Really good energy.
you got to get here at the summertime.
Yeah, no,
it's a blast.
Yeah, no, I've kind of been here-ish because of my business.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
And,
I can't wait to get to that. Well, wait. So after the 5-year run,
Yeah.
what did you do?
Well, after that, I moved to LA.
Okay,
So,
and then
And I was in LA for another couple
was there a
years.
lot of auditioning going on?
Yeah, and
or
I was like, I'm going to do musical theater because that's what
wearing my water?
originally what I was doing. Originally, I was, studying
So
musical
just
theater.
getting in shows and
Then I was like, I can now do my musical theater that I've always wanted to do.
Oh, okay.
So right after that, I worked 2 years straight at a theater that doesn't exist anymore, South Bay Civic Light Opera. Oh, those were some of the best years of my life.
Really?
I planned so many costume dress-up days.
That is so huge for you to
So-
say that right after doing a 5-year stint
Yeah.
with Celine Dion. That those
Yeah.
2 years are some of the best years of your
Yeah,
life.
well,
I mean,
because-
you've lived a rich life.
Yeah, I mean, also the Celine Dion, like those were amazing years as well. I mean, that was my European thing. I grew
Yeah.
up in that show. I actually was engaged and married to someone at that time.
Look at you.
I know. Bought a house, sold a house, and then LA by my second house.
Was it? Was it all? Did you marry a performer?
No. It was actually a regular, normal, nerdy person.
So that's good and bad, right? It's good
I
because
think it's
they're
good
grounded.
because they're grounded and they balance you out.
Yeah,
So
I think that
And I've
helps.
never really had a showman, so I don't know what it
I
would be
love
like
that term,
to
showmans.
be with an artist. Well, actually, my first boyfriend in high school, he played drums in a band that I was in with him. That was my Gwen Stefani moment, with no doubt.
But is it tricky?
That's high
Because,
school.
I mean, when I've always wondered about that. Like when you're in a show, you're basically, everyone's just living in this, you know, it's like you guys are stuck in this bubble in a way.
Yeah.
Once you're, you know, and how is it that somebody doesn't have a showmance? Because, I mean, after a while, you know, we're all human, you know, and you're not around family, or you're, you know, especially if you're out of town, you know, I would just assume everyone just after a while, unless they're married or whatever, I don't know, you know, just creates the showmance because, you know, you're stuck with these people.
Yeah, no, they were created.
Yeah.
And then...
But you've been in this for so many years, but not much of a showmance for you.
Yeah. I don't know. I think I just, in my head, I was like, don't eat where you poo. Or however you say
Yeah,
it.
no, that's...
So I always kept things...
I think it's the other way around. Don't poo where you eat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait, what did I say?
Don't eat where you poo. Yeah, but, you know, same difference.
So you know
Details.
You know what I mean.
Yeah.
So in my head, like, I always kept things professional.
Nice.
You know,
that's
like,
very impressive.
I've always done things professionally.
Especially, but, I mean, that's impressive, especially thinking about, you know, you're younger, you know, and especially then you're younger then than you were now, you know. So being more impressionable, or just being young, being, you know, new to the world, you know, it seems like, you know, that, especially being new to the world, new to that world, and all of a sudden you're thrust into this professional world, and you're trying to, like, you know, find comfort anywhere too. It just seems like a difficult thing for that. To avoid. So that's really impressive that you would be of the state of mind. Not that you probably didn't, you know, everyone has to, you know, satisfy them, you know, find something. Let's go to a movie, or let's, you know, whatever. But the fact that you had like that thought in your mind to stay so focused and not, you know, not poo where you eat, you know, that's impressive, you know, because I don't know if many people can handle that. It's, you know, it's a tough life, you know. So wow, good for you.
Yeah, well, that's just what happened.
Yeah.
So
to have that state of mind.
Yeah, and then so I was in LA doing musical theater. It was amazing. I did so many, like Bye Bye Birdie to Jesus Christ Superstar, Singing in the Rain, like all these shows.
And did this come pretty easily because of the Celine Dion thing? Were you, I mean, once that was on your resume, were you able to like work?
I mean, I killed it at the audition.
Oh,
everyone
sure.
has to show up and audition. I sang, danced my face off, but it might have proven to people that I'm a professional person, you know, with her name on there. Because to be in a show like that, I mean, to be associated, like, you know, I had a reputation.
So you're awesome, huh? You're good at this. You have to be. I can't wait to start YouTubing you like crazy. Are you YouTubeable?
I have posted a few things.
Okay.
Don't look at all my auditions though. I need to remove them.
Oh, you have like that you put up?
Yeah, trying to get jobs because I was living in New York earlier this year, and then I was trying to. A lot of times now there's video audition, so you could submit something via.
We're going to pause for one more second. It's funny because when I tell the listeners, "Oh, we're going to pause," there's really no pause because we just press pause and then we press record again. So it's like there's no pause. But for us, we're going to pause.
We're going to pause.
Hold on. Okay, see. For us, it was like a 5-minute break, but for the rest of the world, it was like nothing, like an eye blink. So once you're back in LA and you're working through you're still doing a lot of theater work, but then when did you turn into kind of the gypsy you are now? Because now you're like wherever the show is, you're there. This is cool. Like because you're in Chicago now, you're in the King and I. So like. What are you all over the country now, basically, or is it mostly the 3 Chicago, New York?
I booked another dream show of mine when I was doing the New York satellite program, and when I was at UC Irvine, I watched living in New York. I watched maybe 18 Broadway shows.
Wow!
And one of the shows was Kathy Rigby's Peter Pan, and during that moment, Tiger Lily pops up, and here I was. I thought, oh my God, that's my part, because. Here she was, this character. She's strong, she's fierce, she dances, and she plays drums, and that's what I did. Well, I didn't tell you, but I also played percussion in junior high school band, so I know how to play drums.
Oh, God.
So, and then she does a sword fight. I'm like, that is me! That is the... And then she had done her farewell tour, but she didn't really retire because they were redoing it again for 2011.
Okay.
So, and it's funny because previous year, I auditioned for Peter Pan, and it was between me and another person. That was my dream show, and I didn't get it. Even though, I didn't get it.
Ooh, there's some catty
And then I
backstory
thought,
there.
well-
Like, even though, anyway, I didn't get it. You came back to your happy place. Oh.
And you know, I cried for 3 days. Like, well, I guess that was it. And then now I realize, you know, how the universe works. The real Kathy Rigby's Peter Pan tour was auditioning, and I thought, oh my God, well, this is my chance. And then because I did not let myself go there to want it that badly because of what happened before, because I cried and cried. I was like, you know, it's fine. I probably won't get it, but I'll do my best. And I coached with someone. Anyway, I tore up that room. I did what I did, and I just left it at that. And then it's funny because right after I shot this sword fighting thing as ninja in Konoichi in fantasywomenbattles.com.
Oh, yes, because you've done choreography and
Yes,
fighting.
I love fighting.
Okay.
Love it, love it, love it. Swords, all that jazz. After I shot, I got an email and I got a phone call from my agent saying, you got the part. You're going to be Tiger Lily understudy in Peter Pan. I thought, oh my God.
Wow.
What? Like, out of all the people in the world to do this one part. So I was the understudy. But the thing is, what happened is during the rehearsal, the Tiger Lily, this amazing girl from New York, she tore her meniscus.
Oh.
So
That'll take you out for a while.
yeah, so I had to learn the part in 4 days and open the show in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Wow.
So I opened the show, and I'm all over the Playbill pictures. Anyway, so yeah, and then ever since then, I've been kind of on this tour thing.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
so that's why I've just been living the gypsy life.
So was that a TV show, or what was the thing you're talking about where you were like a ninja?
Oh, fantasywomenbattles.com is a project by Tim Wesk, who does all the movies. Like, he's trained Natalie Portman, like every movie and everything. And anyway, my sensei, TJ Senkula, who's actually from Chicago, he and his wife Natalie, they created this project, and they held auditions, and I was selected.
So it was basically like video game.
Yeah, it's kind of like
girls.
they chose all these, I think 18 different characters, like Lycan versus Wolf, and then Angel versus Demon. So all these different characters where viewers can choose who they want to win, and you can watch this epic fight battle. And we shot a scene where we either killed our opponent or they killed us.
Okay.
And we were badass because the girl I was fighting, I was ninja, she was pirate. She's actually a wrestler for the female wrestling. Like, she flew out every other weekend to Florida to fight, wrestle. So we were badass because I learned choreography.
Now, how did you feel about that? I mean, because it's different from, it's you don't want to look dancy, you want to look like a fighter now. So how did you take to that choreography?
Oh, I just put in the mindset, I have to kill her. So you just have to just acting. So. And then can I find that anywhere? Yeah. You can Google that, and
Yeah.
that moment should be popping up.
Oh my God!
The only thing is my monologue isn't so great because that was the same week I was auditioning for Peter Pan, and I had no time. It's really bad.
Okay,
It's so
I don't
bad.
care about them. I just want to see you fight now.
Yeah, the fighting is really badass.
Are you using a weapon? You're using a sword?
I had 2 katanas.
Oh man!
So. And also, I have it on my fight reel. I have a fight reel. If you look on my website, jasmineejan.com, I have...
Oh, yeah, let's talk about that. Wait, and Ejan, E-J-A-N, JasmineEjan.com.
Yeah.
So a lot of the stuff that we're talking about can be seen?
Yeah, I have my dance reel, my fight reel.
What is on the
commercial.
fight reel?
It's just me doing the ninja stuff, and then I'm also got Heroine Legends, this other thing.
What is
where
that?
It's like a comic book thing where... these energies are from around the world, like comets. They fly and they hit people, and some people who get hit they're either bad or good. Like, what do they do with their energy? So I was actually a villain in that series.
Oh, wow.
I play Raven. So that's in my fight reel as well.
Raven's an actual superhero in comics? Did they
no,
tell you that?
No, it's something that they created.
Oh, okay.
So, but then I got really busy, so I couldn't...
But
continue.
Wow.
But they're basically scantily clad. I'm not scantily clad.
You're not scantily clad.
I'm wearing a dress versus the other girls are really scantily clad. So yeah, you guys can watch it. You'd love this show.
So you kind of lucked out though that you didn't have to go all like slutty Halloween on it.
Yeah, no. I'm wearing this little dress and boots, and I'm like badass.
Nice, man.
So that was fun.
And now now that takes us to today. I mean, then the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing happened, which you talked about earlier.
Yeah, but I don't fight in that. I'm
any
just
other
her dancing
TV?
feet. Lately TV things. No, because I was busy. Well, so I was on tour, and then during that tour, I also had my breakup and sold my house and all that jazz.
What tour was that?
The Peter Pan tour.
Okay. And
so that ended in Macau, China. So
the relationship ended?
No, the tour.
Or...
the relationship was already kind of dwindling.
Sure.
And
it's just a different. That's where you being on the road, or
well, both our dreams changed. I thought I would retire and probably raise a family, but he didn't want to raise a family. So because I had a 3-bedroom house.
Is the opposite of what I would have assumed. Because somebody like you, you're on the road, you're a performer. But you wanted to settle down and have
the clock was ticking.
Yeah, okay.
So I thought,
So the normal guy wasn't ready for that. How strange.
I know. Right?
It's usually the other way around.
Come on, I got our house on HGTV. I was ready.
Oh, my God.
And I know it takes time. Like, my auntie took her 8 years, and I'm checking in, and no. So, and it's okay. Like, at least I find out then, and what we had was amazing. And
better to find out.
We had many adventures, and, that part's done.
Now you have a whole new... But the end game for Jasmine is you want 3 little ones running around in the house.
Yeah, and make them sing the songs and dance at the parties. Because that's what they made me... Well, actually, I didn't mind. Because growing up, we would hold these epic, huge family reunion parties. On my dad's side, there's 10. So that's how I actually got my first performing gigs. Was performing for my family. So my uncle, he would do magic shows. My auntie would sing. My cousins would all do this hip-hop dance thing. And I would do ballet or sing.
Yeah.
So that's what I did growing up also besides being on stage at age 7.
And home would be California. You want your house.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
So, Lil, your story.
Yeah, but also, I'm also used to making things happen. I mean, it takes 2 for a breakup thing, so maybe...
Of course.
Now I've learned, I won't be as controlling, and, I'm just...
Were you one of those at first? I am the boss!
Well, I don't
Especially after you
so.
learned how to fight. Like, I know how to use swords.
No, but I mean, I was open to communication. So the next person I'm hoping will be open to communicating, because I thought he wanted that in 2000.
What is your perfect guy? What does America need to know?
Oh, he has to be funny.
Funny. Not funny, but funny.
Funny, kind... responsible, financially stable, and have his own thing where he's happy about what he's doing so that later on it doesn't come back in resentment of some shape or form.
That can happen. That's tricky. I guess that can happen especially if it's 2 performers together, I think it's give and take though. I think 2 performers, it can be tricky because it can be weird, especially if they're along the same path and one is more successful than the other. I feel like that might get weird. There's others that could just support each other too, but then on the flip side, it's nice to probably have somebody who can truly understand what you're going through as well.
Yeah.
There's a little more of a symbiotic thing that happens through that as opposed to somebody out of the industry. Then it's more grounded, which is really good. But then they don't always understand, what the person might be going through, and you may not understand their world as well either. So it's a tricky
communication.
It's really, it's really
and how to communicate with your partner.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So
that I guess that takes us into the new venture, which nobody would probably see this coming because we've covered all this entertainment stuff. Well, wait, from an entertainment standpoint, do you know what's next already after The King and I?
No, I mean, I'm auditioning for something in LA. I fly out next weekend.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yeah, are you through with Chicago right now? There's nothing out here you're auditioning for.
Not that I know of.
But
I mean, I could reach out to companies.
But for you,
because the thing is, in Chicago, things are auditioning 6 months in advance.
Oh,
so
then
it all just.
Need...
Oh yeah, Chicago Lyric. I'm doing the Lyric. They're looking for ballet dancers in 2 weeks.
Oh,
for Carousel. Yeah, that's what I'm auditioning for in Chicago.
In 2 weeks, the audition happens?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. When does that run happen then?
Sometime next year.
Okay. That's crazy. So
I know, it is crazy.
That's not normal?
No, well, in California, you audition for things more immediate, like 6 weeks in advance at the most. Or if it's a TV thing, it's in 2 weeks, So here, everything's way in advance.
But everything is so immediate out there. And then the massive amount. I mean, there are a lot of performers here in Chicago, but I mean... It's probably times 5, times 10 in LA. So I guess you can get, you're going to get who you need for sure at these auditions. Probably, I would imagine. The pool of talent is even bigger out there because out here, there a lot of people moved out here and then got into the industry. But
and then moved out to LA.
yeah, but it's not like, and then some people that are embedded here and they've scored here and they're doing well here, you know, well, then they're here. But you can't come here and like, it's not like LA or New York where like every waiter is like an actress or a screenwriter.
That's
you
a
know?
thing.
Like it's so overflowing.
Everybody, so many dreamers and insecure people.
Oh no, insecure, really?
Yeah.
Just because
you just have to know who. Like, I'm glad I have my friends, and I know energy wise, like I feel could go with me. But yeah, there's a lot of insecure people.
Oh, that kind of sucks.
Yeah, because, you know, they don't know and they don't have that many life experiences, and they'll pose it on you.
Yeah.
So then you sometimes feel like, God, I'm not tall enough, skinny enough, old enough, young enough, or, you know.
Oh, God.
Then you feel that, then that's like the same room of energy of that. Then you're like, why do I feel this? Like, just a lot of insecurities.
Well, so in the midst of all this singing and dancing and you're bounding and you're leaping, now you're like an entrepreneur. You have your own business.
Yeah.
Businesses or business?
Just, well, I mean, I have other projects, so I guess maybe it is business.
So you have like things cooking that you're working on top of this, but right now, like the main thing, and I have to make sure, like the main product, or is it the company? Yeah. It's called Blowpaste.
Yeah,
ladies and gentlemen,
I'm the creator of Blowpaste.
This chat is about to take a very interesting turn. So, I mean, I didn't look it up because I just so you know, I don't want to talk to anybody for more than like 3 minutes before they get into this room.
Of course.
And I don't want to look at website. Like, I want to experience everything for the first time on the microphone. So I think it goes on your naughty parts. Like, this Blowpaste, you wear it on your underneath your swimsuit.
I'll tell you
spot?
all about it.
Okay.
So basically, Blowpaste.
Yes.
It's an edible lubricant. It's a personal lubricant that's vegan, gluten-free, and it's the only lube in the world that's good for your teeth. So,
so the paste.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh my gosh.
Actually, the name came to me while I was on tour changing my shoes.
Really?
And I was like, oh my God, it would be called Blowpaste, like a light bulb ding.
Are you serious? So when you said...
But I kept it all a secret.
Did you use the term person? Like, well, I mean, this is couples... will...
Personal.
When you say personal, you mean...
You can put it on your cha-cha.
Oh, yeah.
But you can use it as massage.
Okay.
So basically, the original flavor...
But it's
mint.
edible.
Yeah. So you put it on there, whatever bit you want, then you lick it off.
Wow. And so, I mean, it would probably hurt, I suppose, but I mean, you know,
No. It's supposed to make things slippery.
But a woman or man could, you know, that morning replace their toothbrush with the private part. Like, well, I'm brushing with this today because I've put my Blowpaste.
Actually, Early to Bed, the store that I first here in Chicago in Andersonville.
They're carrying it?
Yeah, they wrote in the review, says substitute that toothbrush with a dick.
What? They actually said that?
Yeah, and they're really great. They wrote an amazing review and helped me, which helped shape my pitch.
So you're the owner operator, or you're
Well,
you have a business partner.
Yes, my business partner, who is Lover at the time. Yeah, so Blowpaste is a product of love.
Oh, so you guys were able to like, let's try this out, and then you're like, well, wait a minute.
His cha-cha would be on fire.
Look at this.
They're like, no, that's too much.
Was it ever like, ow? Like,
yeah,
no.
that was.
Okay, so back off on the cayenne pepper. You guys are like, you're like those places, whatever it is, where they have the tasting test, like you're testing.
Yep.
And you guys put it together yourselves.
We mix it
without ourselves. Any kind of.
Because the thing is, I'd finished a tour and there were no auditions and I didn't book anything. Mm-hmm. So if you don't book anything, because I just joined the union, you don't work for 3 months.
Yeah.
So I was like, fine, I'll try out Chicago. You know, I have a broken heart. Well, I'll just leave. It's fine.
Nice. Okay.
You know, and then we make this because we're shooting ideas. Because he is an entrepreneur. Like his dad's an entrepreneur. His grandfather invented.
Do they make naughty things?
No. But his grandfather invented the spring and the ball pen, and his dad owns.
What?
Yeah,
are you serious?
Yeah, his dad owns MagicTrickStore.com. So
where in the hell? How does one decide with your, you know, like, oh, I'm a dancer, I'm a singer, I'm going to get into business for myself, and then you would think, oh, I'll open a dance school or I'll do this, but somehow you said, I want something that's going to, I'll put it on somebody's, you know, I'll put it on somebody's rod, and oh, guess what? It'll whiten teeth or what? Is there whitener too? Like
okay, well, I had this idea years ago.
Okay, where did Blowpaste come from? So, I need to know.
From an ex-love, right? And he didn't taste so good. So
because everybody tastes different.
Yes.
When you go downstairs on a girl or a guy, and I've never gone downstairs on a guy, you know, and nothing wrong with that. But I mean, everybody tastes
Everyone
differently.
tastes different.
Yeah.
I say eat fruit, everyone. Eat fruit.
Will that affect the
that
taste
doesn't
down
affect
there?
your taste.
For girls? If a girl's...
both.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know one thing you don't want to eat is, what is the vegetable? Now I'm forgetting. Oh, it'll come back to me. But there's one very common vegetable. Asparagus. Asparagus is bad news.
Yeah,
oh, that's bad news. Did you know that?
No, I never. I could always do
it
a
comes
study.
out very, very stinkily.
Wow.
You know? So, yeah. In fact, I just did a gig, and oh my god. Well, it's funny. I always say this drummer I work with, Tyson Allard. He's mentioned for some reason on just about every podcast. So I guess it's time to mention Tyson Allard. We went to the men's room on break at a gig, and one of the part of the entree was asparagus. He's like, oh god, it really stinks in here, doesn't it? Like, it's the asparagus. So what you're saying, eat the right things, and you're not going to be not stinky,
you'll kind
but
of taste like what you eat.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that is. I need to try that
that's why
out.
I say eat fruit. Yeah,
because
try
it's just a
eat
diet.
A bunch of fruit, and then you say, hey.
Because I've experienced one or two people. Because I'm a fan. I like thighs a lot. Mm-hmm. So if you as a man, if you make your way down there, what are you holding on to? So it's like the best of both worlds.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I've experienced well, this is sweet, and then I've also experienced well, this I shouldn't come back here ever again. I've run into that. So the Blowpaste. All right.
Yeah. Well, okay. So this is the thing. When you're with someone, then you want to change it up in the bedroom.
But tell me this much: somebody didn't taste good. Is that what happened?
Yeah, and then you buy the flavored stuff,
okay,
right? To enhance and make things better.
All right.
So that you can do what you want to. So the thing is, we would have these flavored lubes, and all these lubes, because I care about
Were they
my
edible?
teeth. Yeah, they were edible.
Okay.
They were very much like candy, and they had all these preservatives and chemicals.
Yeah, yeah.
And then just that taste. And then afterwards, I'd be like, well, the guy's laying there in his bliss. I'd have to go and brush my teeth again.
Right after.
Yeah, that's so annoying because after you make love, you just want to lay in bed.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's not fair. Like the guy gets, and then
yeah.
So I had this idea in my heart years later, and then I'm shooting ideas with my entrepreneur, lover, boyfriend, whatever. And he's like, the next day he called, that's a great idea. We should make it. And I said, really? Okay, well, I don't have a job. So
at the time you're thinking, okay, wait a minute. It all serves everybody, but it mainly serves the wearer, because it's like, oh, this is great. I mean, well, as far as oral, right?
Uh-huh.
But
you can use it for intercourse, backdoor, and massage. There's aloe vera, which is good for your skin. Wintergreen essential oil, which is good for your arthritis.
This is crazy.
So besides hand job, you can use it for massage.
So it has healing abilities too.
Yeah, my friend put it on his bruise and he swears that it made it better.
Get out of here.
And then Camille Solari, I sponsor Horizon Sunday at the Comedy Store in Hollywood. She uses it for lip gloss.
Really?
Yeah, there's lots of multi-purpose stuff for my.
But then you were thinking I want to be able to
my original idea.
I want to do my but then I want fresh teeth after.
Yeah, I don't want to brush my teeth again. Come on, I just did it. I have no time. There is no time in life.
It's amazing.
You know what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So that's my original idea.
I see.
I tell that, and it's to eliminate the post-brush so you can fall asleep in your lover's arms.
Wow.
And that's great you're laughing because
beautiful.
I totally get it.
But that's poetry.
Both people win. Both parties win.
Yeah.
Everyone gets more.
What was that line again? You can fall
asleep in your lover's arms.
Yeah. I mean.
You can do that.
Yeah. So you decided, I'm going to make this.
Mm-hmm.
How did do you have a background in chemistry or so? Or you're just?
I took teaching of science during my master's in education.
There you go. That's enough.
I guess it's like cooking. People make things.
So is there?
I make lube, but I don't cook. But it's all good. I make the world a better place.
Oh, my mind
music.
My head is spinning.
So, and I know it's a fantastic thing when my married friends say their husband, the kids are running around and the husband turns to her and says, you wanna brush your teeth? And everyone smiles. Come on, I've just enhanced people's love lives.
Yeah,
and they're staying together. You know what I mean?
Sure, you're keeping people together, and then you're keeping teeth and mouths.
Yeah, and masturbation. If you're not with someone, that's fine too.
So it works just as fun.
Yeah,
because it has all this.
Yeah, here, give me your hand.
All right, here we go.
I'm opening the Blowpaste.
Yeah.
It's the vintage form. So there you go. Oops, I put a bit.
Oh, there it is.
See,
it's clear.
It is.
So
Yep, you can taste it.
Is it? I'm not sure if I'm getting a scent.
You can actually use it like a breath freshener.
And this is your
the
sample
mint
size.
flavor.
This is a mint flavor. Can
Yeah.
I see what is the bottle or the?
Oh, but
thing?
this is
Oh,
will
it's
be
like
vintage soon because I have new packaging that will arrive.
Oh, I see.
Starting next week.
Blowpaste. Okay, I'm
Yeah, and then
putting
if
it
you-
in my mouth.
Yeah, you can,
Just
you know.
lick it, or do I? Well, it's
Just-
good. Well, it has a little it has like a hint of mint, or
Yeah. It's very subtle because a lot of flavored lubes are very strong. So this I feel enhances the flesh.
It's really good.
Thanks. And then like you can rub it on your teeth and that's actually healthier than an Altoid. Like my friend keeps it in his gym bag, so after he works out, he just puts it on his teeth.
Get out of here.
Yeah, and there's sodium bicarbonate, which is the teeth cleaning element.
So you can actually just use this as like put a little dab of it, and it's your mint. It's your little mint, and it's good for your teeth because not all mints are good for your teeth.
And then lip gloss, and then moisturize it into your skin.
Lip gloss as well.
Here, try the orange one.
Okay, here's the orange one. So there's almost nothing you can't.
That finger?
Yeah, any finger.
Okay.
I'm just gonna put up my whole hand. Okay, so.
So this one, it's derived from the orange peel, and still.
Do they have different names or?
Yeah, well, it's not launched yet, but the new packaging for mint, because I just had it like.
Ooh, I
original
like
mint.
this one. This
Ooh,
one's
you like
tasty.
it sweet,
This
then.
this
This one
good.
is orange gasmic. So
that's good.
The new mint one will be called Minty Sanchez.
But this is amazing. Well, this is so. This one I definitely use. So, all right, you can throw it on your back to massage yourself.
Yeah, and
Maybe
actually it was
heals
the Miss
bruises.
Saigon cast that figured out because they had this massage train. And then my friend Chris Bemke, he said, "Hey Jazz, give me some of your blow paste." And then next thing you know, all the kids were massaging each other with their. And I was like, "Oh my god, I didn't even think about that."
What I like about it is it doesn't have that. I actually haven't used a lot of lube in my day, but I've tried some stuff here and there. And there is kind of a chemical stickiness to it. And it's like there's nothing sticky. Like it's.
Yep.
So
that's one of my really good reviews because I'm also in Lover's Playground, which is 17 stores in Chicago, Midwest.
Oh, okay.
So they wrote
You put
that.
it on my hand. I licked it. It's tasty.
Yeah.
But now as I'm like rubbing my hand here, it's just making my skin feel all soft, like it's working. It's working into my hand.
Exactly.
So this thing, it wouldn't be that. Oh, I gotta wash my hands, or oh, now I'm all sticky. Like the lube.
A little bit goes a long way.
The lube feels good. Like my hands feel all soft and nice. And
Put in those cracks.
Yeah, this is
of your hands.
It can go in any
Develop
crack.
dragon skin in this weather. Yep, put in the cracks.
I mean, you have your own. Oh my God! So it's almost. It feels like a moisturizer.
Yep.
On the skin. This is crazy.
I know, right? I'm like, here, I never in my life thought I would ever make this. This is a huge leap because my family is very conservative. They don't even know I make this. Just some of my cousins, but my parents have no idea, and they are not on the internet.
I see.
Thank God. Like, I don't want to tell them because we never talked about love making or anything really.
Well, yeah,
growing
but
up.
it's so helpful and organic. And
Yeah,
it's,
but my mom's half Chinese.
she would kill you.
And
This
just
is
the
awesome.
idea-
If this blows up,
Oh my God. I used to blush profusely when I used to talk about it. My pitching was so bad in the beginning.
Oh,
Because I would
well,
get so
sure.
embarrassed.
but
talking
now you've got a great delivery now. Now you're like, woo, blissful, lay in your arm. You don't have to brush your teeth. Here, put it on your hand now. Go. Like, you got it down now.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of practice.
I feel like a better lover already just putting this on my
Yay!
hand.
And that's all I want. My mission is to spread love, happiness, and healthy smiles. So basically what I do in musical theater, but
Healthy
in a
smiles.
product.
And a healthy smile. I mean, if you're doing it enough to need some lubricant and things like that, then already just naturally you're giving yourself a reason to smile more. So why not make that smile look better?
And it
and
just makes
cleaner
things
and
fun, just to change things up in the bedroom.
to know that you can do
And
this and just lay back and go to sleep.
Yeah.
Because everybody has, I mean, if you're in a good giving relationship anyway, in the heat of battle, both of your faces are ending up in the private area. I don't think it. I'm not a big fan of like, oh, just take care of me, or I got you. At some point, everybody ends up in there. So to know that you can both end up, just wherever you belong, and then putting on this stuff, and having that nobody. I guess what I'm trying to get to is nobody goes to bed after sweaty fun stuff with a minty breath.
Yeah,
Nobody.
you just want to be fresh and clean.
Yeah, this is...
This could be for morning afters, too. So.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you
Yeah,
roll
why not?
over and then just like...
Put on the Blowpaste.
Yeah. Oh, my God. And the name Blowpaste is perfect.
It is
because
trademarked.
Yeah?
Yep.
Good for you. Yeah. And you're brilliant. I mean, who wouldn't want this?
Yeah, exactly. So everyone should support this. Every guy should support this.
Every guy should
Believe
support
me, I've had
this.
some douchebags because they didn't
Really?
understand. Oh, yeah, at parties. So that's why I have to be wary, because when I first came out with it, I was telling musical theater kids, and then I was like, I was living in Hollywood. I'm going to try to sell door to door.
Wait, what? Are you serious?
Yeah. Big mistake.
Well, it doesn't seem like a door-to-door product.
That's another whole story I should not.
I mean, at some
I've
point...
had a crazy journey with this Blowpaste. Like
I would
talking
say
to
at
Muslims.
some point...
Oh, my God.
They think that you're offering some sort of full-service example if you're going to somebody's door. Does that ever happen? I would assume people's heads get into weird places.
No, not these kids who...
Oh, they were kids. Wait,
yeah,
what?
well, no, not kids. They
Oh.
were in their 20s, but because we're in Hollywood and I knew they were making like web series, Funny or Die type stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently I didn't know. I guess they were high at the time, but I didn't know that they were. So they all had peculiar faces when I was explaining to them. And I was like, yeah, if you need an EM, send it. But...
Door to door.
Yeah, I will not do that because...
Yeah.
Someone wrote something on my car, which was very hurtful.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I was vandalized. I was like, you know what, Jasmine, I learned. Like, everything I've done has been learning experience. Like, see the barcode on the tube, it's too small. There's a lot of these business things.
Oh,
that,
okay. That's why...
This is the first generation, and I've never made a product my entire life.
Sure.
And the only reason why this is also coming about, besides my craziness, is I learn from what other store people have told me.
Yeah.
And I've met with a lot of business people, like the guy who led iPhone 5.
Yeah.
I happened to meet him, and he gave me advice.
What?
This lady who works whose water bottle is in 1,700 Targets, she gave me advice. Like, everybody has helped me on this journey. Just the universe has sent me people. Every plane ride I take, it's always been someone who will help me.
How long has this been in production now? How long have you had Blowpaste?
It was released April 29 on my birthday, 2013.
Wow.
So in that year's time, I'm in 32 stores. And I was in the Huffington Post. I didn't even reach out to them. And actually, that's how we blew up.
Really?
Was the second month. They found our Indiegogo. Well, I think Red Eye found our Indiegogo. Then they interviewed us. And then right after, 2 hours later, then we're in the Huffington Post. And then we're huge. We're in like on some Australia news channel. I filled orders in Netherlands and France and Taiwan.
This is insane.
It is, right?
I mean, talk about a retirement plan.
Yeah, well,
People
that's
don't stop doing this.
Yeah.
That will never stop.
That was one of the reasons why I was like, well, what am I doing? And then I looked up, love making and lubes. And during the recession, everything lost money except the love making industry.
Really?
So I thought, well,
that's interesting.
Everybody does it.
Yeah.
This should be something. The thing is, there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of lubes out there. But I managed to somehow get on shelves.
Well,
So-
I mean, yours is a unique product, though.
Yes, mine is. It's the only one in the world that's good for your teeth. And then when I explain it, people laugh. who
It's
get it.
very funny.
So-
But, I mean, even the edible stuff out there has this weird chemically,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not fun. It's not good.
yeah. I mean, it's preferred taste for some, and mine's a preferred taste.
But not
for
even taste. I mean, the way that this, there's the lack of sticky, I think,
Yeah.
is the big deal
Thanks.
for me with
We
this
made
stuff.
it. We
Yeah,
made
this is like the fact that it's like the fact that it makes my hand feel so nice and pleasantly soft. Oh my gosh, yeah, if somebody used this for like masturbating,
Yep.
I mean,
My friends were telling me, because we were at a restaurant, and they were like doing this with their fingers with Blowpaste, and they're like, "It's still going." I went to the bathroom, I came back, and they're all, "It's still going," as they're rubbing their fingers back and forth.
So you wouldn't have to like, oh, got to use the whole thing up on,
No, a
on
little bit
my
goes a long
on my
way.
stuff. But I mean the fact that it has these kind of weird, organic, moisturizing kind of whatever properties to it, then it's like it's softening your hand and it's softening the other thing that shouldn't be soft, but it'll feel soft over the hard. And I don't know how to talk about this.
It's
but,
okay. You're
but
doing a
it's-
lot better than what I did in the beginning.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm impressed. I'm really
Yeah.
impressed. Like, oh, that's like it. You can use it on your own or with a friend. Like,
Yeah,
wow, look
exactly.
at you. You're
Massage.
changing America.
Yep. And actually, I have a jingle, which I emailed.
I did say at the end of the show, when this show is over, I'll make sure I end the show with your jingle.
Yeah, my
because-
friend's brother helped me. You'll love this. He helped me produce and make it.
Uh-huh.
Really sweet guy. He worked with Barbara Streisand and Quincy Jones, like R&B
course.
guys. And now he's a background track, and he helped create my jingle. And he's the voice of Chippendales.
Really?
Yeah, that's his voice.
Oh,
So he
okay.
helped me make it. And then when I was in LA last January, my friends and I, we made commercials using that jingle. So if you Google anything with Blowpaste, I produced, I sang in my own jingle. I directed, I casted all my friends.
You're singing in the jingle?
Yep, that was my voice.
That
was
voice
playing.
okay.
Yeah, along with my friend Jeffrey Pachetto.
It's very happy. You need a video.
Yeah, and
to
actually that
accompany the
jingle, because we blew up on the Huffington Post, this guy, John Scullard, it's his jingle, he wrote it. What Could Go Wrong is his radio show or podcast show.
Uh-huh.
And he had this really very clever, long, lengthy, like 4-verse commercial thing that harkened back to the 1950s. Like the style. And I thought, oh my God, that's exactly my style, because mine is like a pin-up-y, kind of vintagey kind of vibe. So that's how I got the jingle, and he gave me permission to use it. So, like I said, like the universe is just really embracing my Blowpaste.
So now it's just about how many flavors do you have?
I will be launching a new one.
Oh, wow.
Next week, everything. I had worked on labels.
So we have what now? We have the original, which is what?
Mint, which will be Minty Sanchez. And
then the
orange Gasmic.
Orange Gasmic.
And
I like the orange
newest
Gasmic a
one,
lot.
because I put on my Facebook, like, what's the new flavor for it? And everyone voted on cinnamon.
Oh, nice. Cinnamon.
So, yeah, just in time for the holidays. And it's made from cinnamon cassia, which is Chinese cinnamon bark, which helps increase circulation, so it's good for erections and whatnot.
Oh, really? Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So it's everything.
Yeah.
Now you're having like
Well, and also like
enhancement products.
yeah, like
in
if you have blood problems, like it helps circulation.
Oh wow.
There's a lot of studies that show how cinnamon is good for you.
So I have to do you now you're beyond the point where you had to you developed it with your lover. So cuz you had to sample this. So it's all tested.
Oh yeah, it's tested through whatever musical I was in. So my new flavors for orange, that was during my Miss Saigon cast. And that's the thing, because musical theater kids, they're very open-minded. Like, everyone's cool.
Okay.
I just went around with a styrofoam cup and or my mason jar and here, taste this. What do you think?
And then are you having people okay, you two, I know you two are doing it. So here, I want you guys to use this tonight and then tell me tomorrow.
Yeah, I've given samples and then I have them fill something out or they tell me if they...
So there's you had a focus group in a way.
Yeah, I have my
your
friends.
Own kind of...
Yeah. Yep, these are all tested.
And then they were
the
able to
thing is,
say what they liked and how it worked out.
This thing is, before it goes on any shelf, the stores have their own testers.
Really?
Yeah. Imagine that job.
There's somebody whose job is just to
test all the products.
That would be an awesome job.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'd be there'd be some risk to that, because all of a sudden there would be the ooh, Cayenne come, and so it seems like it'd be dangerous too. At first it seems like that would be an awesome job, but then I'm not sure now.
No,
because you don't know.
Well,
what
I mean, some people test. And
no,
some
I
people
mean
sing
your
and
product
dance.
is awesome. This would be fun if I were okay, that's all I do. I just rub it till it's ready, and then I put on the stuff, and then I fill out. I'm doing it, but while I'm doing it, I'm filling out my form to say yes. But then you would think you'd get that means you'd have to try out everything though if you're the tester. Can you imagine?
Yeah,
that'd be a scary job. That's an Indiana Jones we've got this thing with moving spikes, dun, 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 and then you don't know what you're putting it in. Yeah.
That's true. I didn't think about the risk.
Well, here's to you, testers, because now I respect you guys and girls, because that's a treacherous job, I would imagine, because people probably come up with some freaky stuff.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, could you imagine the things? Because yours is all vegan friendly, and
vegan,
yours becomes a
gluten-free.
part of you. Yours is like a second soft skin, Yours is underneath my skin now. I'm wearing your stuff, man. This is really, I'm thoroughly impressed.
Yep.
It's
made in here in Chicago.
Really?
My lubratory.
You have a...
Yes, shares with the Magic Trick store.
Really?
Yep.
Where is it? It's based...
It's actually Huntley, Illinois, but it was born in Chicago.
Wow, your lubratory is in Chicago. You need to copyright lubratory, by the way. That's a great name.
It's in the works.
Yeah, okay. Do that, because that's... You can start producing videos of just what's coming out of the lubratory.
I know there's so many things,
oh my
but
God.
there's only one of me. I'm I'm the graphic designer, producer. I do all the social media. I pitch the sales. My friend's like, you're doing what normally 3 people do.
But I saw the picture, though. It's such a cute, sexy picture that you had. Is that like just the one Blowpaste picture or something you had on your Facebook page that you showed me?
Oh, yeah, I have an Instagram. So Instagram is Blowpaste and Twitter, Blowpaste. And,
okay.
But I also have a like overall, that's just one product. Well, my one and only. But I have a company, and my company's Cheeky Cha Cha. So that's the name of my website, promoting art, health, sex, love. So that's a whole brand in itself. So on that website, I'm basically kind of like what you're doing with me. I'm interviewing and putting on the web all my friends, because I realize, you know what? Not everyone gets to have friends like me, like all my interesting friends who have fascinating lives.
Yeah,
because
that's awesome.
My world encompasses from circus to like the sword fighting to, you know, just all sorts of people in my life. And I thought, you know, I should tell the world who they are.
So on that, it's video of you giving an interview, or is it audio?
No, it's all written, all questions and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's everything from. Is it mostly sex, or is it art? Sex.
It's art, health. Like I had someone who's a nurse practitioner talking about something about sex.
This is very cool.
Yeah, I hope to be interviewing this one dominatrix who has her own dungeon here in Chicago. I met her at a launch party.
Where do you do this at? Where do you do the interviews?
Well, I'm going to contact her very soon, but I met her because I had a launch party at Lover's Playground.
Okay.
Launching Blowpaste there. We'll be having one soon, but I'm waiting.
There'll be another launch?
Yeah, and there'll be a launch party in Vegas soon, but I don't have those dates.
Okay.
So a lot of, I'm planning all those.
So where should people go then to find, well, first, like the to see all the fighting stuff and the dancing stuff?
Oh, that's JasmineEjan.com.
JasmineEjan.com.
Which is me as the artist.
Right. And then that's what your mom probably has seen.
Yes. That's, yeah.
And, okay, so if you want to satisfy like your inner artistic soul, go to that. And then if you want to physically be very, very happy and then have nice teeth after doing whatever you do to your lover, you want to go to blowpaste.com.
Oh, no. Cheeky Cha Cha.
Cheeky Cha. How do you spell that?
CheeKy and then
Cheeky.
then CHACHA.com.
Cheeky
and everyone
Cha
thinks
Cha
it's because, you know, I'm cheeky, you know, like all my stuff's cheeky. And then everyone thinks Cha Cha because of dance. But really, Cha Cha refers to your private part.
Oh.
That's what it really means in my, but you know, that's our.
So cheeky cha-cha, like a smiling private part?
Yeah.
Like, oh, you're going to have a happy penis or happy.
Yeah, like it's like, I don't ever really call people's, like when I'm doing my pitch or talking to people.
You've been saying cha-cha a lot.
Yeah, but I'd be like, yeah, just put it on as cha-cha. You know, it's just a
that's
nicer
a happier
way of
term.
saying it
Yeah.
than.
I think after a while, like cock is just, you know, it's just.
They're just so blatant. Like,
yeah, it's hard.
boom.
Your cock, you know.
Pussy. It's just like,
yeah,
whoa.
But your cha-cha
But
sounds happy for both
like,
parts too.
Yeah,
that's
you
why I
use
like
it for
it.
both.
It's pretty universal.
So that's where.
And you can add that inflection if you're like hardcore. You're changing the world. I think you might feel.
Yay!
Yeah,
in my own little way.
Because if you're still hardcore, you could still use the cock kind of deliver, like, oh, it's my cha-cha. Like, you could still be rough with it. Or like, hey, you know, this felt pretty good on my cha-cha. Like, it's happy, it's sad, it's rough.
Yeah.
You know, girls can use it, guys can use it. I like where you're going with this. Oh my God. Well, okay, so cheekychacha.com is where they will find all this wonderful stuff for their privates. I got to tell you, like, I you know, you just put it on my hand, so I just have like the feeling of my hand, and then, you know, just the taste of it. But it feels like the kind of thing, like, at least for oral, like, it feels like once you use it, it's almost like you couldn't imagine not using it. Like, that's a good thing about it. No, seriously.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, like, it feels like, you know,
and Lover's Lane's going to pick it up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
huge
waiting
around
for
here.
purchase
Is
order.
that
That's
like,
another Midwest chain.
Okay, I didn't know if that was like on the West Coast, but
no.
Lover's Lane.
That's the thing too. Chicago has been very supportive of their own community, I feel. So everyone has helped me, like, given me advice, and that's why the new tubes which will come out, like, the packaging will be a lot better. It'll pop. You'll see. And the stores where they're like, when I showed it to them, they said, "Oh my gosh, nobody ever listens to us, and this is great," and they really liked it. So
look at
like,
you.
this is my business school, just listening to everybody this past year.
Good for you, man. I mean, I don't.
Basically, in the end, I want financial peace so that my third house will be I'll have my third house, and maybe I'll finally unpack my suitcases.
Yeah, good for you. I mean, you have a plan now, and it's working. It seems like it's working out, and it can only. I mean, it's only stuff like this only picks up steam. I mean, you can become international quickly. Well, you've already sort of, right? Is that?
Yeah, Australia did a video bit of us, but those are all different, regulations and import rules and languages.
Look at the stuff you're learning, though. Isn't that awesome?
So I'm like, okay, let me just do the Midwest and the coast. Like, I'm in some California stores. So,
but the Midwest right now is your jam. That's like, that's where they're really opening up their panties to you.
Yeah.
All right, nice, man.
Yeah.
Well, good for you, Midwest. Way to like. Usually it's funny because in so many things it's like, well, New York. It starts in New York or L.A. and it kind of moves its way in. But obviously the Midwest is just hornier or something. They're like, you know what? We care about sex in our teeth. Let's
LA was happening at the same time, only because I was also in LA. So there were a lot of LA boutiques that picked.
So they're
up.
doing well too.
Yeah.
Okay, so New York.
But the chains are the ones in the Midwest that have the West Coast. They're mostly through distributors. Okay. And like I said, I made mistakes in the beginning, but now I know. I should put everything on one sheet. Like I was so disorganized, but I just didn't know.
New York, man, step up. New York needs to step up then.
Yeah, I'm talking to a distributor right now in New York.
Yeah, they need to get in on this, just for Well, I'm impressed. And you're also trying to venture off into other businesses as well, or right now it's all about the Blowpaste?
Well,
or in addition to... You don't have to say.
No, I'll say. Yeah. So my latest project, my friend who's a musician, she's really sweet. We met doing chess. She was in the orchestra. She's a piano prodigy and a musical director as well.
Nice.
But she would be always knitting profusely backstage and then giving out scarves for everyone. She's really, really sweet. So sometimes I would crash in LA and she'd let me crash at her house and she'd show me her latest thing. Anyway, she showed me what she made, and she showed me these coasters which look like cat butts, and she said, look what I made. And then I looked at it, I said, those aren't cat butts. Those are pussy butts.
It is a pussy butt.
So
can I hold
Yeah, hold it.
Right.
So I just launched this Kickstarter a couple of days ago.
For these?
3 days ago. Our goal is 2,000. Basically, it would help fund her making those, and then some of the proceeds will go to Lux Paws, which is a rescue organization for cats and dogs. And I said, I'm going to call it Pussy Butts. We're going to sell my website, and we have to show the world your talent. So I'm helping her out.
The bar is constantly set. Every time I do one of these, there's always a brand new experience. And I could never guess what I'm going to be involved with and what I'm going to be talking about. And I would have never thought I'd have somebody with such an amazing background and life experience across from me, because I love your story. I like your story, and I like the way you present yourself. I've been so lucky.
That's very sweet.
I try very hard to make this.
I don't know. I just do what I do. Like, I do my show. My pitch is like a show. I just tell them what it is. People know who I am, what I really do.
But it's you. There was no difference in the way you were talking about how you were brought up and how you were talking about, lubing the cha-cha. Like, your whole delivery is exactly the same. So that's what's great. You don't seem to have this hey, I'm moving, shaking, by my stuff. You're very natural. And the fact that the natural part of you is really fun and nice.
Thanks.
Yeah, so you're not even switching gears. You're just switching topics as far as I'm concerned. I really like that. That's really good. I think that's going to go a long way. And I would have never guessed that, at one of my podcasts, I would have...
The Blowpaste creator.
I'd have
What? It's crazy. In a year's time, I'm in 32 stores. That's a lot of hustling.
You realize that now you need to get back to Chicago, because, I would imagine a year from now, God only knows what you're going to have. You're going to have, Bootylicious. You're going to have, so many different flavors and all this,
I want to make a silicone lube, and
I just need
lube.
Okay.
And I do need to make, everyone wants a warming one. That's actually very easy to make.
Do you enjoy, I've tried maybe one of those, and I'm not a fan, because they eventually just get hot or something.
Hot.
Yeah. Or I think I tried something once where it's if she puts this on and he puts this on, there's a poof, and I just felt no, this doesn't feel good at all. It feels like a hot poker going into a volcano, So, but the warming thing. So that seems that's a tricky one to build.
Yeah.
Have you ever experienced a warming one?
Yeah, and I'm not that fond of them. I think it depends on how sensitive people's skin are. So my thing would be probably the testing So when I make it, but it is easy to make. I know how to make it.
This thing, like you, like
Yeah.
right, I almost want to like just send you in my kitchen, like, okay, make something for the cha-cha. I'm like, okay. You're like some sort of brilliant sex kitchen goddess now. You're like, okay, just stay away from the cayenne pepper. That's all I ask. But I just want to see what happens. Like, okay, here's some cinnamon, and I think, and you're, and you come from the theater world, so you're gonna sing it.
Oh, we actually do when we do make our stuff.
You sing while you make it?
We do this like dance when it's being
like
sealed.
a dirty Disney thing. Wow.
We were on WCIU.
Uh-huh.
So, and they shot us making our lube. So you can look that up too. And like they show the
That's
seal.
on cheekychacha.com? Would there be?
Yeah, I think I might have. I hope I posted the video.
Okay.
If not, if you YouTube it, WCIU Blowpaste. And so we do this like, yeah, like we invoke love into the lube as the tubes are sealing.
Well, people, like, I'm serious. I'm not doing this just because I have no reason to sell anything. Seriously, you know. And even if we were like great friends, you know, I got to like try this. I haven't tried it like, you know, underneath my pants yet or anything like that. But even just
you
what
will, because I have a sample just for you.
Oh, look at that! Like I'm totally a fan though. Like this sounds. Look at it. Oh, it's in the, like you're giving it
They're
to me.
They're called blow sacks.
It's like a magical little sack that you just handed me a sack.
Yep. Those are also sold at Early to Bed, but only Early to Bed in my store. The other stores in
it's got this kind of magical fairy princess, you know, or whatever. What is it? Fairy godmother kind of secret potion vibe to it. The way you're handing this looks awesome. Well, thank you. You just get. And it says www.cheekychacha.com.
I designed the front of that.
Facebook too, Blowpaste on Facebook. You're on Twitter, like you said. Oh my gosh!
So see the label here on the front.
Uh-huh.
Adobe freaking Illustrator, so hard.
And
but
you just
I made
went
that.
to work.
It took me 4 hours, and my friends were like,
love sack, is that what you?
Blow sack.
Blow.
That's what
I would have never thought that ever that there I would have my. I'm looking at a pussy butt. I'm holding lube.
The only thing is those are not as minty. There's not quality control because these are made in a lab in Gardena.
Okay.
So that would be my only thing.
All right. It's not as minty.
Yeah.
But still good
you know
for
how
the
like
teeth.
you open a bag of M&Ms and you're like, oh, I ate some okay M&Ms.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I feel like those are just...
Okay.
Like it'll be, you know, some are better, some are not.
Because of the packaging.
Yeah, because I didn't personally mix each... Like they are mixed, but like
God,
I had to give it to a
you're
lab.
in there though. You're personally making stuff though. Like
yeah, when I make the tubes, yeah. My partner and I.
That is amazing. Never ever would have I thought. I never would have thought that this would end with me having my own sack in my hand. Like I wouldn't have thought the interview or the chat would end that way. But yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, seriously, go to cheekychacha.com.
Yeah.
Get your stuff, man. Get your lube on because it's good for your teeth and you're going to be soft and cuddly and warm. And guess what? No one's going to the bathroom unless you just have to go potty. But, I mean, once you're spent, you're spent. You get to, like, just lay back, chill, and feel like my teeth are okay. My body's okay. I feel refreshed. I've let it all out. I had sex. I totally had sex. And now... I don't have to do anything till I wake up in the morning. And guess what? When I wake up in the morning, I could just rub this stuff all over a body part or just right on my finger, put it in my mouth again, and I still don't have to leave the bed in the morning. I can still stay in bed and be somewhat minty fresh, and my teeth are going to be fine because in the end, it's like, oh, what good is this? Like, oh, there's all this oral action. Life has been so good, and my teeth are falling out.
Yeah.
Like, you're saving teeth. You're saving lives. Yep. You're saving teeth.
Yeah, people
and
are
lives.
happier.
Seriously.
Relationships are better.
Well, it's going to last
You're supporting
longer.
an artist. You know, I'm all about art.
She's all about art, and
I've
she
collaborated
made this.
with, and I support education, so I've collaborated with UCLA and Cal State Monterey Bay.
Oh my God.
So I've, you know, for sex advice and education, all that, I do all that.
Well, I'll say it again. Go to JasmineEjan.com and watch all of that stuff, and then become a fan. Now you guys have heard her name, so you recognize the face now because God only knows what sort of production or random TV show or random anything she might be a part of. And then go to cheekychacha.com.
Yeah,
and,
taste the love
and taste the love. So like experience
or
her.
share it. You can always give it as a gift.
And then they know that when they buy this, like if people like are hardcore fans. Your hands were on these things. You made them.
Yeah.
So it's like she's there with you. Like some people are like, oh, can I get some hardcore fans who like they may like, oh, can I get the Jasmine blow up doll. You know what? When people make those blow up dolls, like of other people, like that is nothing but some other person far away making a blow up doll, and you're basically just grabbing a balloon with a picture. You might as well like look at somebody in a magazine. But if someone's like, oh, I want to experience Jasmine a little bit, like, well, she made the lube. This thing is going directly on you. Her hands were in there. She was like, here it go. Because I'm assuming that you just do it like a winemaker, but with your hands. Just go with it. So anyway, if you want her hands on you, get the Blowpaste, because her hands were in there. It's the closest you'll ever get, America. And then go to her website, watch everything, enjoy yourselves. I mean, this is never more of a reason to smile, like ever. Like, so take care of yourselves. Thank you for this. Did you have fun?
I did. This is a splendid day.
Oh,
Thank
nice. Thanks for coming over and everything, and thanks for my sack and all the other stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's another good one. I'm so happy, and I hope you guys had as much fun as I did. This is one of the very few podcasts where you can have so much more fun after the fact. We've all grown a little. And when you do grow a little, put Blowpaste on it, because it'll feel good. So go out,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
Oh, no. Thank you for talking and sharing. So, ladies and gentlemen, Jasmine, she's awesome. I love her. So get out there. Have a great week. Have a great year. Have a great day. Go out and find your smile. Thanks.
Don't let another blissful moment go to waste. Taste the magic of Blowpaste. So give that salty sausage a peppermint taste with the magic of Blowpaste. Freshen up the job before you turn out the lights, and get a pearl necklace to go with your pearly whites. If you want to make his day and put a smile on his face, taste the magic of Blowpaste.